The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, The winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers. The professional tier, the Master League. The semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series. The open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2 and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. I'm your host, Angela, for today, and this event is brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX Intel, and organized by Nordman Gaming. Today, we have some great games lined up for you folks. It's going to be Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and DOTA 2. And Clash Royale today, we're going to have 2 amazing players who have been part of us, even in the 2017 edition. Arpan being the first player of this tournament, he also had 2 finale winnings of the summer and fall. In the winter, of course, he took a fall to Mukul, but today going up against him, we have Saif, who's also a very top contender in the ESL India Premiership. He also has had podium finishes. So let's introduce these 2 players and give them faces before we head into the game. Arpan, let's see you first. Alright, so that is Arpan for you folks. You've seen him a lot of times before in the ESL India Premiership. As of now in the Masters League, he's played 2 games and also scored 2 victories for himself. Right now above him only sits Sutakshan on the leaderboard, and going up against him today, the second contender of today's match is going to be Saif. So let's put a face to that name. And that is Saif for you. Both these players are from Gujarat, Arpan being from Surat, but we have Saif who is from Bharuch. Now, Saif himself has played one game till now in the ESL India Premiership summer season. He played it against Mukul, but over there he faced a loss against him. But he's only played one game, and in the Masters League you have chances that keep coming. So let's see how these two players are going to perform. If we have to talk about their favorite card, we'll first talk about Arpan's favorite card. He loves to play the minor, as we can see on the board, and Saif loves to play the three musketeers. They've got amazing trophies also to themselves for now. Let's check out what they have banned for this game. We're going to see that Saif has opted to ban out the P.E.K.K.A, while we have Arpan who's decided to ban out the three musketeers. Now, three musketeers being one of Saif's main cards, this is going to be a risky choice for him, whether he's opting to make sure that Saif doesn't really get this victory for himself. I've seen these two players already play the Masters League, so I can tell you that Saif loves to play the balloon, he loves to play the lava, he loves to play the golem. Both these players love to play the Dark Prince and the Prince. And if we talk about Arpan in general, even he loves to play the Dark Prince, but the Giant also is one of his top favorite cards. So I'm hoping to see whether he opts to go and play the Giant for this matchup against Saif, or he opts to go and play out a new card. So let's head into the game. We have our caster waiting for us, Manoj Super Gola. Take it and go.
And yes, today this clash match is between Arpan and Saif. Saif, who's played one match so far and lost it to Mukul, and Arpan, well, he's up there on the leaderboard. I think he's second right now, as Angie has said. So what we're going to do right now is just going to stare at the screen until either player plays a single card, because, you know, they haven't played a card yet. Saif opens with a Mega Minion, not giving much info to Arpan about what his deck is. Arpan replies with the same exact card. And yeah, the players are exchanging a bit of light-hearted banter right there. Night Witch coming up from Saif on the right lane. He's getting ready to start a big, huge push using his Golem right now. So looks like Saif is playing a pump deck with a Golem and a Dark Prince. That is quite strange. And yeah, Arpan is probably going to lose his tower here on the right, thanks to the Golem and the Night Witch and the multitude of bats just pushing in. Saif is also going to lose his tower there on the left, thanks to the Prince, the Giant, and the Royal Ghost. Are they doing a race to finish or something? They're just going straight for the throat. Like, this is the King Tower that's taking damage right now. Almost a minute 30 seconds in. This is the halfway mark, and Arpan's King Tower is at 889 HP and dropping, while Saif's tower is holding steady at 1322. This has got to be the strangest game we've seen on the Premiership so far. Saif hasn't revealed that he has a Tornado yet, and he hasn't even put down his Elixir Pump yet. While Arpan hasn't shown Saif that he has a Poison in his deck. I don't know why he's trying to save this card though, because he really needs to cycle that out and get into some good defensive cards for that aggressive Golem that Saif just picked up. Yeah, this Golem is definitely going to destroy this tower, unless of course Saif uses his first, thanks to the little tiny poke coming out from the Prince. And congratulations, Arpan. In this game of quick draws, you have won for now. 1-0. So this must be the shortest... no, not the shortest, I guess the fastest 3-crown victory we've seen so far. And I'm actually anxious to see what kind of game that we're going to watch in round 2. And like Angie said, Arpan has banned Saif's 3 Musketeers. And Saif has opted not to ban Arpan's favorite card, which is the Miner, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He's banned the P.E.K.K.A, which... if memory serves right, Arpan has used in his last victory. So I guess we'll have to see if that ban proves effective, or if it's just a red herring. So Arpan now has learnt his lesson that Saif is going to start using the double night pushes. He's going to use the Golem and stuff. So he has opted to use the Inferno Tower, which is a really, really, really good way to defend against these huge units that Saif is putting out one by one. So the Dark Prince from Saif has managed to reach Arpan's tower and bring it down to 1504 HP. And Arpan's Goblin Barrel, because it was left unchallenged by Saif, has brought it down to 1649. And yeah, we see the first Inferno tower going down. Saif must just feel really bad about this because, you know, that means his Giant and Prince push is not going to go anywhere. Good defense by Arpan right there. Manages to sacrifice a miner to tank whatever damage the Prince wanted to put out. And in the process just saving his tower from further ruin. We'll have to see if Arpan can dole out some decent damage with the Princess, because I think that will be key to his victory in this round. If he's able to save his Princess from Saif's little units and from Saif's removal spells, it's going to be really, really good. Dark Prince manages to get his initial hit off as well as one additional hit onto the tower, bringing it down to 886 HP, which is alarmingly low, especially since we haven't even entered double elixir yet. And when we do enter double elixir, Saif's deck will clearly be in the lead because it's a much heavier deck. The Princess coming out from Arpan. Let's see if she will be able to do any sort of damage to him. But looking at that poison card in Saif's hand, I don't think she'll be able to do much. Especially since there are two Princes just running at her. Oh wow, the Prince actually managed to make contact with the other tower as well. And this Giant almost reached Arpan's tower but was distracted by the Inferno tower. And Saif has used this chance to poison down Arpan's tower to 320 HP. Again, Miner from Arpan coming out, his favorite card, not able to do much, only brought it down to 743 HP, 64 HP left on his own tower. And he manages to expend a fireball to bring down Saif's tower to 245 HP. So we just have to wait and see if Arpan can rotate it down again, use a fireball or a miner to finally destroy the tower. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. So we are entering overtime, and clearly Arpan is in the disadvantage here. His tower is sitting at 1261 HP, which is just 2 hits each from a Prince or 1 or 3 poisons away. And it looks increasingly likely that Saif is going to take this round off our multi-time champion right now. Zap going to come down on those minions? No, Saif opts to use the poison to completely destroy them. That's a pretty positive elixir trade if you discount the Prince right there. Yeah. Arpan is in some real hot water right now. I see the Prince and bats coming. Yeah, that miner couldn't even distract that entire push for even half a second. He just instantly vaporized as soon as he popped up. Giant is going to reach the Princess Tower, and now he just starts punching it. Poison also helping him along the way. There we go. Saif has taken game 2, tying the score at 1 each. And we'll just have to wait and see if Arpan can, if this is a reverse sweep or if Arpan actually turns out to be the winner in the end. So since I'm really curious about what's happening, we'll just jump straight into game 3. We'll just move this right along. Yeah, my production head just looked at me and said, dude, you need to cover a lot of time. Okay, I guess we will cover a lot of time. It's fine. I hope this is going to be a 5-match series, so that should take care of itself. So Saif has switched back to his Golem Dark Prince deck with a Rocket Kicker. I don't know what he plans to use the Rocket for, because his deck is pretty slow-paced if you consider the elixir requirement of the cards that make up the core of it. I guess we won't be seeing a Golem or a Rocket, either one of those cards, until the very end. While Arpan has switched to using Poison since he saw how effective it was against him. Is the Zap coming out from Arpan right there, stopping the Dark Prince in his tracks. But the Baby Dragon did manage to get a couple of spits off onto the Arpan's Princess Tower. Puts down a combo of a Giant and a Prince on the left side, Arpan. The Prince manages to push the Giant far ahead, and that tower is definitely going down. It is definitely going down. One more hit from the Prince. Yeah, there we go. Now we see a Golem right here on the right, barreling down towards Arpan's Princess Tower, basically unchallenged. Like that Mega Minion is just scratching its back or something. Like it's hit the Golem. This is the 14th hit that the Golem has taken from the Mega Minion, allowing enough time for the Dark Prince to come and bring down the tower as well. This is like almost like a repeat of what happened in the first game. 2 minutes in, both the players are down a tower each. Now, considering the cards that the players have in their decks in this particular round, I want to give the edge to Saif because he has a golem and a rocket. The rocket is a very, very, very effective finisher card. If you consider that the golem is now, thanks to Arpan's lack of Inferno Dragon or Inferno Tower, is going to be able to tank any defense that Arpan throws at him for a long, long time. But looks like Saif has decided to sacrifice a lot of HP on his King Tower. Now it's sitting at 1035, and finally Saif has started his golem push again. We'll just have to wait and see if Arpan is going to get bamboozled and rocketed upon. Again, the Dark Prince coming out from Arpan, an aggressive Dark Prince, not able to do much damage. And Saif's own Dark Prince is doing a wonderful, wonderful job at defending his star. The poison has brought it down to 755 HP, but that's okay. Now we see a huge push coming out from Saif right there. Will that be enough though? He has the rocket ready. He has launched the rocket. Is it enough? No, it's not. 238 HP left on Arpan's tower, and yeah, I think Arpan has got this in the bag. That giant is going to make it all the way to Saif's King Tower. And oh, I was wrong. While I was distracted by all those huge units up top, Saif has done a very sneaky zap baby dragon move right there to bring down whatever was remaining on Arpan's tower, bringing the score to 2-1 in favor of Saif. That's a pretty bold move. So even though, like, I want to talk about why I missed it. I guess it's just because I'm still not at the same level as our Masters players, even though I'm in the same trophy category. Like we often say in DOTA and like we often say in CSGO as well, MMR is just a number. I think Sai sitting behind me would agree. MMR is just a number. Anyway, so before we head off into Game 4, though, because that might actually be the last game if Saif wins it, I just want to take a moment of our time, you know. I'm going to drag it out as long as we can. You know what I'm going to do, Kunal? I want to thank our sponsors. And you know who our title sponsor is? Do you now? Do you want to say it out loud? Come on, don't be shy, come. Okay, fine, I'll do it myself. So thank you, Women by HP. Thank you for giving us the support, the resources necessary to bring the ESL India Premiership to you, our viewers every day at 6. And thank you, HyperX. And thank you, Intel, Red Bull, and of course, us good folks at Nordwind Gaming and ESL India, bringing these wonderful, wonderful esports to you live every day at 6. And having said that, let's see if Game 4 changes the trajectory of this matchup right now. Let's see if Arpan can even it out with a score of 2-all, or let's see if Saif manages to push it out. You know what? In the interest of good gameplay, in the interest of entertainment, in the interest of esports for life, I'm gonna bet all my trophies that Arpan is going to win this match. I don't even care about the type mismatch. I don't even care about the decks, and I just hope Arpan wins. And having said that, now I'm gonna actually take a closer look at their decks. Saif again has opted to play his Golem Rocket Kicker combo, while Arpan has switched it up a bit. He's using double dark. He's using a double Prince Giant push card with a fireball actually instead of a zap. I'm assuming because Arpan already has a log. Luckily for him, Saif doesn't have any minions, or he would have been in real trouble. So a minute into the game, Arpan's tower is at 1700, while Saif's is almost at 1900. And look at this, Arpan has a Musketeer in his deck. That's not a card that you see often in the Premiership or in any like huge tournament most of the time. Yeah. Arpan's Giant and Mega Minion have punched Saif's Princess Tower into oblivion, but Saif's Golem has reached Arpan's tower, and I think it's a pretty safe bet that it's going to destroy it. Yeah. Slowly but surely, even though it's taking damage from the Dark Prince right there. Especially the suicide damage right there. It brings the tower down instantly. 67 HP, one more swipe from the golem and the suicide damage as well, bring it down. So the tower count right now is both the players are down 1 tower each. The remaining princess towers on either side are almost at the same HP, and I have got to give the edge to Arpan in double elixir because you know it's a heavier deck and it gets a bigger boost from having double elixir. Again, we see a prince and giant push on the right, reaching the tower. The giant has started punching the tower, and we're going to see the two princes actually start hitting the tower as well. I think it's gonna go down pretty quickly. Oh wow, nice tornado from Saif coming there. Oh, 192 HP, that's within fireball range. I hope Arpan realizes this. Come on Arpan, you have the fireball. What are you waiting for? Come on buddy. What you doing? Oh. Ah, there we go. Rocket coming out from Saif. It's gross overkill, but he does manage to get the last Princess Tower, and now we have entered overtime. That's a decent push coming out from Arpan entering into overtime. Two princes out on the board with a mega minion, and now they've started bashing the tower in. Look at how fast the tower is melting, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. That was less than 3 seconds of tower combat. And wow, so looks like Arpan has come back with a 3-crown victory. And now we are actually going to head into game 5. That's interesting to say the least. Like, we've seen more or less the same sort of decks being used all 4 games. And I myself haven't noticed either player make any huge mistakes so far. So I don't know what exactly is the differentiating factor here. Maybe Angela could do some research and enlighten us after the game, as I'm pretty sure she will. Okay, Mini P.E.K.K.A. and a Musketeer. Okay, Arpan is moving more and more into the basic cards, and it's quite exciting to watch. Like, they've been proven to be very, very effective, especially since I guess most players haven't encountered them in tournament play and hence don't actually know how to defend against them or play against them. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Mega Minion proving too much of a powerful opposition for the Dark Prince to tank. And a minute in, we've seen quite a few units die. We've seen quite some action going on in the center of the playing field, but so far neither player has managed to make one of his units even touch the other player's tower. We see Saif using a log to damage Arpan's star, but that doesn't really count because he actually used it against the Dark Prince to knock off his shield. Okay, Musketeer, Giant and Mini P.E.K.K.A. push coming out from Arpan over here on the right. This is going to be deadly. This is going to be deadly. Yeah, the Giant is going to punch the tower into oblivion. 810 HP. Now 1 HP. Yeah, 1 HP left. Yeah, I think we can bid that tower goodbye even to the slightest breeze coming out from Arpan. I guess now all he has to do is concentrate on defense. Defend as much as he can. Save his tower's HP as much as he can. And then put some more pressure on Saif's left Princess Tower. What lucky timing. Arpan's double knight push getting a huge boost thanks to double elixir. And now we're going to see some huge pushes starting here from the left back of Arpan's playing field. Again, Saif knows this and he has instantly started spamming his giant and Dark Prince right there, making sure the giant is going to reach the tower. Manages to punch it thrice, but dies to the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Like, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. is such a huge source of DPS. It's a wonder it's not costlier. Look at that, like it's tanking the tower, the Musketeer and the Dark Prince, and has managed to bring the Dark Prince down to you know, getting killed by by a half and a puff wala HP. 154 HP left on Arpan star. That giant is going to punch it once and bring it down. But that's not what we're here to watch. We're here to watch what kind of pressure Arpan is able to put on Saif to bring his left Princess Star down. Good timing on the Dark Prince right there. He has managed to avoid the melee damage coming out from the mini P.E.K.K.A. But oh yeah, good time, good time. The Mega Minion manages to destroy the mini P.E.K.K.A. before it is able to reach either the Musketeer or the tower, effectively giving Arpan a 5 elixir lead. An aggressive placement of the Giant and the Dark Prince right there. Managed to reach the tower. The Giant managed to punch it once, but then it died. Again, we're going to see either a log or a fireball. Maybe he could have waited half a second more on the fireball to get the Mega Minion in range as well, but I'm sure he was worried that the Prince might just get, the mini P.E.K.K.A. might just get too far out of range for the fireball to be effective. And let's face it, the mini P.E.K.K.A. is a much bigger threat than the Musketeer could be. Ooh. Slight miscalculation by Arpan right there. That mistake might just cost him the game, but we won't know until one more tower goes down. Again, 1100 HP left on Saif's star, 1827 on Arpan's. And the action is just has been going back and forth. Like, this is tough to predict. Oof. One hit from the mini P.E.K.K.A. would have sealed the deal right there, since Saif has a zap and a fireball handy. Is it going to be enough though? Yeah, I'm pretty sure one more punch from yes it is. So fireball, log, and Saif wins this matchup against Arpan. Congratulations, you have beaten the multi-time champion. So that's it, guys. Finally, Saif has won this matchup with a score of 3-2, and yeah, he has effectively convinced us that he belongs in the Masters League. He has beaten Arpan pretty fair and square, even though Arpan has made a couple of mistakes, like using the fireball before the log and pushing the Musketeer too far out of range for the log. Maybe that would have made all the difference in the world, but we don't know. Like, I guess Angela will tell us if I was right or wrong. So let's head back to the studio.
Alright, and welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL Premiership Masters League. That was one insanely close game coming in from these two amazingly talented players, Saif and Arpan. I mean, hats off to you, Saif. I've always put you in a category of being one of those very defensive players. And I mean, 2017 was a year where you were always playing defensive. And now I see you going all out aggressive. I think you're more a person of just two extremes. And the first two games were just out of the box brilliant. I mean, Arpan did try so very hard in the final game to take that game away from you. But you kept your ground very mastered. You have made sure to make yourself very clear out there that you deserve to be in the Masters League, like Manoj Super Gola said. And by the way, thank you, Manoj Super Gola, for that amazing cast. Let's talk more about these games. I mean, both these players love to play the Dark Prince and the Prince, but the MVP card of this particular matchup would be the Giant. I mean, both these players played the Giant card mostly because both their major cards were banned. We saw that the P.E.K.K.A. got banned out and the Three Musketeers banned out, which are two of these players' favorite cards. Now, getting into the Giant, the best way for them to really counter the Giant was something with very aggressive damage. And when we talk about taking down the Giant, it's not really easy to take down a Giant with flying units nowadays, because people normally just go ahead and play a zap spell, or they use a poison, and that kind of just takes down all your major air defense, which is your maximum damage output dealers. Now, in return to that, when we reach the fifth game of this particular matchup, they both decided to go with the mini P.E.K.K.A. Now, the mini P.E.K.K.A. is particularly small, like we know, but he does a lot of damage. And these two players just taking them out to just counter the Giants. They both had such similar decks in the final game. They had the Musketeer popped out, not really seen in the ESL India Premiership. They didn't opt to go for the balloon. They didn't opt to go for the lava. They mostly played ground defense. I think Arpan and Saif both like to play ground units more than air units. And that kind of is what made this game so interesting for me to watch. I mean, both of the games, we didn't see just one crown victories or just two crown victories. We saw even three crown victories. And particularly in the final game, I love the way Saif played. Like Manoj mentioned, yes, Arpan did make a few mistakes with his fireball. Even the last placement of his giant, when Saif had already dropped the giant, he did not really have the elixir to take that push forward after he dropped the giant. And that's where the little mistake happened, because Saif was able to drop the giant and the P.E.K.K.A., which finally did the blow that was needed to end that overtime match. So hats off to both these players. I see them contending in the finale also, and I'm hoping to see these two play on the same basis in the upcoming matches. Arpan is going to be facing his first loss in the Master League, and Saif is going to be taking home his first victory. So congratulations to both you players. Coming up next, we have Counter-Strike Global Offensive for you folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be just back after a short break.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the LAN finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. I'm your host Angela. For today, Vigeesh and Adi are a little under the weather, so they won't be joining me. So I'm going to guide you through CS. So let's see who these two amazing teams that I'll be playing today in our Counter-Strike Global Offensive segment. It's going to be Portal Esports going up against VOR. Now, Portal Esports, we know they're an amazing team from Pakistan. They have dominated their own country and also have stretched out their wings to other parts of the SCA server. Also today they go up against VOR, who are a Mumbai-based team. So let's give faces to their names and then head into more about these teams. Alright, so that is Portal Esports for you. HSB, considered one of the top players in Pakistan. They recently played their game against SRA, which went into an overtime, but this team took that match even for themselves with a 4-5 lineup and they even took that victory. So Portal Esports looking very strong as of now in the Masters League. They are sitting with 2 victories to their name, and they're going up against VOR Gaming, who are Mumbai-based team. So let's give them faces. And there you have it, War Gaming. They are based out of Mumbai and they entered the ESL India Premiership in the 2017 edition in the Challenger League. After being top contenders over there, they made their way to the Winter Season Master League and also made it to the LAN finale. Entering into the summer season, they've had a very mixed campaign. They have faced a victory towards Vakban but also taken a few losses. More about these teams and their players with our caster and analyst who will be sitting with us in through the game. Mamba and Fett will be waiting for us. But before that, let's check out the veto of this game. Alright, so we see there are going to be bans made out by Portal Esports on Overpass. They've also banned out Cash and Kobel. Meanwhile, we have War who have banned out Train. They've banned out Inferno and Nuke. So the pick for today is going to be Mirage. I don't really know much about this map, so let's take a look at it first.
Mirage. While Mirage relies heavily on middle control, thus enabling the terrorists to oscillate to either bomb site. It offers a different dynamic of seizing bomb sites through carefully placed grenades.
Okay, and that is the Mirage map for you folks. I don't really know what more to say about Counter-Strike. It's not really my game, so I'm going to head into this game really fast so we can have a caster and our analyst panel, Mamba and Fett, who will be telling you more about the players, about this map, and how the game is going to go. So over to you guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL India Masters, the ESL India Premiership, the Masters League. Today, finally, it's going to be a map, or it's going to be a game played on Mirage, and I don't have to cast Inferno. Thank you. Good Lord above there is a god, and with me today is going to be the ever jovial, ever energetic Mr. Mamba SR. Sar, please take it away, Sar. Please.
Thank you, Sar. Well, it just sounds a little I wouldn't say ironic, it's just a little different situation today because I'm not at all energetic because I had to cast 2 hours of deathmatch, which is not the most interesting thing in the world to do. So I am still a little.
We're casting Indian slash subcontinental CS. It is deathmatch, tactical deathmatch. At least 90% of the games are. So
pretty much,
yeah.
But the buy on the CD side is going to be pretty interesting. We have Criminal with the smoke and AK to work with, and my X-ray is absolutely off. So this is going to be a little confusing, but nonetheless, I fixed it. But the Terror side, they're going to make their way towards the A bomb side. 3 guys inside Palace, actually 2 of them towards the A slope. So they have a smoke, actually 2 smokes to work with. This is going to be interesting. The flashbang as well coming out, so I'm not quite sure if PES will be able to hold this off. But well, look at that. Oops, is going to be all alone. It's going to get taken down, and they are going to be coming in from the A pass. Well, Pokemon gets taken, and Baba getting the second frag onto Transa as well. It's going to be Criminal just spamming through the smoke, waiting it out. Does have a smoke to work with, and well, the CTs have lost CT control as well. So it is going to be Saz who's going to go down faint, somehow finding the frag and get the second frag as well. What a one-tap on to finish. What an amazing shot. It is still going to be a 2v2 retake. Criminal trying to make his way towards A bomb side. He's not going to get spotted. He knows where Kazi is. Gets a headshot first. And he's going to smoke it off. He does have a kit as well to work with. He's going to fake defuse, or maybe not. It's actually going to stick it. Well, he's just going to wait. Well, he could actually stick it. Stuck the defuse. But he's not going to do that. Almost pulling it off. But kind of unlucky right there, being taken down. And that is going to be the first round coming up for Team War.
I mean, a good idea coming out from Criminal there. He did have the kit, and like you said, he could have stuck it. But then, I think Criminal just forgot the saying that pros don't fake. Should have just stuck it and would have won the round. But then we have hindsight, we have X-ray, we have everything at our disposal here, so we get the full picture. Criminal deciding against it. Anyway, it was a close first round. War, they have just won 1 game in the Master Series so far, and that came against Vakban in a 4v5. They have a lot to prove. They have a chip on their shoulders. Portal, on the other hand, they are playing with a massive ping disadvantage, but they've been really, really impressive, and I've been really impressed with them to the point that I'm really eager to see them on LAN if they do make it to the top 4, because I think that this team can do a lot of damage at LAN, given all other aspects of the game are equal, that is basically ping, etc, etc. I just want to see them on LAN, that's all. And HSB here marking the B push. Needs to be careful. This is a very commonly pre-fired angle, and it does look like the bomb may be heading towards the B bomb side. We do have Criminal getting a lot of information, but now falling back from Hamid Kazi. Hot on pursuit, but there's Pokemon. So this man is just an absolute wrecking ball, and has been so ever since he made his debut in the ESL India Masters Premiership. It's A 3-man stack towards the B bomb side. Trans playing from Market. And, well, War needs to be careful. Indian teams have struggled against the anti-force and Trans. What a shot!
Well, it's going to be Hasib, the waiting down. Saz is going to go down. Criminal find the frag onto him. It's going to be Hasib going around the corner, trying to find the shot again. He's going to find the frag on to finish. Going to get the second as well. He's going to find the headshot onto Oops as well. Anti-ecos and the curse continues for the Indian teams, for the subcontinental teams. How can you be so consistent at losing anti-ecos? I do not understand this. And Pokemon says he's going to buy up an AUG. Now, this is quite surprising. I'm presuming this is a misbuy because you would not really want to invest so much in the second round itself and buying that AUG, and he's gonna give it up to Hasib, and that was a misbuy, and HSB is actually going to use it up, so this is going to be fairly interesting to see how it actually works out for him. But yeah, pretty decent round for PES, and War just played it absolutely terribly.
Oh, that was just no utility whatsoever, and now Fate is going to have a field day. He's going to open the spray with the UMP, missing everything, gets a little bit of damage done, and oh, does get overwhelmed. HSB needs to be careful with the AUG, and there we go, starting things off. Gets one, gets two. He's just starting where he left off the previous round. HSB, the man's a killing machine. Gets taken down to 19 points of health though. Does have a gap to exploit in the smoke. Will spot out Baba the Beast and tags him down really, really low. Backup has arrived in the form of Trans, and Trans with that UMP. Some damage, and HSB is just going to go charging in and does get taken down. It's a 3v2. Trans knows where Baba the Beast is. He's going to get sprayed down. And now it's all down to him. 1v2. Oops, so very low. Trans pulling out the secondary, pulling out the deagle. The clock ticking away. But Trans, these guys have some nutty game. And now it's Portal's turn to lose the pistols. I mean, Mamba, what? How do you consistently teach Indian teams and teams from the subcontinent just consistency on how to play anti-force buys? I don't know how to do it.
You don't. You just don't, because they won't listen to you, right? And it's, I just don't understand this. Fine for the first match, it's fine. For the second match, it's fine. I don't know if these guys sit down and watch their demos again. Even if you win a match, right, you have to sit down and watch that demo again. Make sure you find out where the mistakes were made. Where did you lose out on the rounds? And you have to sit down and analyze everything. And these guys have not been doing that at all. And this is not just upsetting and saddening. This is infuriating. I mean, if you really want to be professional Counter-Strike players, this is not the attitude that is going to go take you a very, very far, a very long way. Wait, no, mind, the grammar is messed up because I'm half asleep. But yeah, it's kind of saddening and infuriating to see the way these guys have been playing, and you just can't. You cannot afford to lose this anti-ecos because it's so much economic damage. I don't even know what's happening.
I mean, the problem is right now that, and the thing is, I've seen Portal play at the WESG, the qualifiers, the LANs, and they were so good. They got like what 14 rounds off of Australian teams, even SEA teams, like proper like teams that are higher than the entire Indian scene put together. And I mean, that was LAN, and which is why I'm really excited for the prospect of actually getting to see them on LAN. There are a lot of hurdles before that can happen. First of them is first and foremost being finishing top 4 in the league stages. But I mean, and then comes the whole passport issue and all that stuff. But if you can't lock down the anti-ecos and the anti-force buys, you're gonna be in trouble, and you don't want that. You really don't want that. You want to be consistent. You want to make sure that you shut down rounds and take rounds that are meant to be yours. You have 3 rifles, 2 SMGs against pistols. You can't afford to lose those, and this is happening every day. We're seeing this like every day. Even yesterday, the Brutality versus ATE game, I was watching it. There were 6 anti-ecos that were lost, and I was like, why? Like, just why? It's inexplicable in my opinion.
It's not just inexplicable, and these are the rounds that are guaranteed for you, like, unless you play them horribly wrong. And it happened yesterday as well, and in certain rounds play, and I couldn't help but laugh at the things that were happening, because it was just, as a caster as well, right? Even the viewers who are watching, they'd question you, like, why is it so funny? But you just can't help it, right? Because you've seen top-notch Counter-Strike, you've seen the absolute worst as well, but certain rounds you do not expect to just go away, right? Probably MG2s would probably play anti-ecos better, but they'd know that these are the strengths of our weapons, play long range? Why do you want to go sit in their faces? And well, that's something they do, but nonetheless, we have a scout onto Criminal. They don't have head armor at all, so the Mac-10s are going to be punishing, and the flash is going to go up. Two guys going towards B Palace. The C4 is just going to be waiting it out towards the T-slope, and Feint is going to be falling back again. The smoke is going to go out. The Molotov towards the WAN area is not going to do any sort of damage to Feint, but won't allow him to be there either. And look at that one-way smoke. So cheeky, so cheeky, Feint.
That's a very good one. I'm going to use that now. Anyway, Trans has made his way up high mid. This can be devastating for the players coming up. Underpass, and Trans is just going to spray them down. Oops, down to 15 HP. Excuse me. In the meantime, Pokemonster has found Saz over towards the A bomb side. It's a 4v3. All Portal need to do is take it easy and play the numbers game from this point. And I like the fact that Feint is pushing up B apartments, getting a lot of map control and information, allowing Trans to focus over towards the A bomb side. They have information that it most likely is going to be an A hit now. Pokemonster has to stay alive. He's going to try and retrieve the Mac-10, does so, but then I think he's going to be sticking with the Deagle for the long-range encounters, especially that one-shot headshot potential that's afforded to him. Doesn't want to lose that. Oops, so very low. Kazi getting taken down by Trans. Oops, taking a peek, but Baba the Beast arrives at the scene, but oops, so very low, and Trans, look at that. A juicy, glorious 4K to see off that round, and Portal just win another force buy. Yep. It is going to be the game of the force buys. I can feel it. I can just feel it.
I have nothing to say. Absolutely nothing to say. I'm just gonna go with it. I think I've just come to acceptance of the fact that anti-ecos are something that I would not be surprised by anymore unless the team with guns actually wins it. But Pokemon is gonna get spotted. Saz is gonna get spotted as well. And Pokemon are playing very closely with the swag, so trying to earn some extra cash. And Trans is gonna flash him in as well. So that early aggression is going to be coming in, and oh, look at that! What is even happening? Why would you do that, Pokemonster? And Saz is not even going to knife him. Why? Oh, alright, well, they're going to find the early opening, and again, anti-ego, why do you want to push out? Why? I mean, fine, it's understandable you want the early information, you want the map control, but this is not the time when you would want to push out. Absolutely not the time when you would want to push out.
I mean, I get why he did it. He wanted to get some information and farm some money with that swag 7 that he'd bought up. But check your corners at least. Just went in YOLO because I think Pokemonster spotted a guy towards bottom of A ramp. But check your corners, man. Check your corners. That is essential. Anyway, what's done is done. There's no point crying over split milk. It is going to be a B hit with a lurk coming in from Kazi. This can be devastating. He can just shoot everybody in the back, mow them down as they come in for the rotation, and now it's going to come down to HSB. Gets one, gets two. Can he get a third? Yes, he can. And now Kazi, not timing it very well. Trans will manage to mow him down, surviving on 12 HP. And there's some good old-fashioned BMing from Trans. I think he watched the JW clip that has recently surfaced on Twitch as a Twitch clip on Reddit. I love Reddit and I love JW. Just JW things. Did you happen to catch that video, by the way?
No, I haven't seen that video. I really have to catch up on Global Offensive.
It's glorious. It's Fnatic versus FaZe, and JW is just doing JW things towards mid. Okay, so there's a dead body. He's completely BMing it. Entire clips, and then one teammate walks out of restrooms, shoots him in the back, and then proceeds to Molotov off the cops, and then proceeds to teabag it. JW, he's just such a god.
Yeah, he's one of my idols as well. I remember this one flick shot on Cash, but getting back to it right now, that nade is going to do a lot of damage, and War is again going to be on the eco pistols. Only a Deagle being brought up by Finish, and the rest of the guys on P250s. Measly P250s, but Pokemon is going to spot the first guy. He's going to get the frag as well. Has to fall by the Molotov. Is going to save his back right there. Just waiting it out, and the flashbang is going to go out as well. So look at that though. The first frag coming up onto Saz. Baba is going to be planted as well. And Pokemon going God mode right. They're getting a quad kill. He's going to be able to get the A's. The Kazi is going to get spotted. He's going to find the frag onto HSB as well. But Criminal is going to shut things down, and that is going to be the fourth round coming up for PES.
Finally, PES, getting it together, and again, Pokemonster, that flashback and that innate sense of timing. If you notice, he knows that there's a Molotov on his back, so he doesn't have to worry about A-Ramp for a good 7 seconds. Takes a peek over towards Palace, falls towards under Palace. Perfect flashback to get 3 players completely dabbing. भाइयों और बहनों, इसीलिए कहते हैं dabbing सेहत के लिए हानिकारक है. मत किया करो. अखंड हद पार बेवकूफियत होती है ये. नहीं करो. dabbing.
that was a nice rant. I think you just said. I think you'll be the anger translator. I remember this Barack Obama video where he had an anger translator, and that is absolutely what I need right now. But nonetheless, it is going to be Hasib who's going to get taken down by Finish, and that is going to open things up for the terrorist. And I don't even know why Trans again is on the AUG. Or wait, I'm fairly certain that this is not the org that was saved up. So I'm not quite sure why he has the AUG, but and the op is going to get picked up as well by Criminal. So this is going to be interesting to see how it actually works out. But Trans watching the underpass area on the C4 is going to be falling back along with his teammates. Two guys walking into a shot now. This could be devastating for Trans if he gets spotted. But well, nonetheless, Criminal is going to be coming in towards short. And Trans watching Palace while his teammate pushes out. And Criminal getting the first one, trying to go in for the second one as well. Is going to spot him. Knows that he has fallen back. But the amount of information that he has is not going to be enough. But he's going to peek out. Nonetheless, the Molotov is going to go in towards window. Pokemon such as being boosted up top, self-boosting himself on top towards the A Palace area. And not even boost, just climbing up the ladder. But yeah, 4v4, 35 seconds on the clock to work with. This looks like a Navi-ish take. They do have 3 smokes to work with and 2 flashes.
They're going to the B bomb side. The hits towards A. Pokemon has to go huge. Gets one. Should stay alive for the rotation to come in. Oh. Okay then. Wow. Alright. So 2v2 finishes low. Saif is on 72 points of health. 1 op, 1 rifle on both sides. The retake is on. They have a kit on towards Criminal. Can this be done? Finish on kills. Gets the 4th, but now it's the op versus the op on the retake. Saif peeks out. Times it perfectly, and Criminal bites the dust. War put their 3rd round on the board. Best part is Pez struggling for money at this point. Everyone apart from Criminal pretty low financially. They'll have to scrape together a buy. Criminal might be able to drop a couple of pistols, but okay. They're going for the force. They have seen a lot of success on force buy, so why not? Is the question that does get raised.
Well, that's true, and PS losing out on the round, it is going to be fairly hard for them. They have 3 deagles to work with the CZ95 as well, and if HSB connects this shot, this is going to be huge, and Baba would be really upset. But this is guarding mid. The flashbang is going to be coming in towards B bomb side as well. Feint just waiting it out with the CZ75 and jump spotting everyone inside the B apartment. So Criminal is just going to be holding that angle off while Feint playing it pretty passively, not trying to do anything fancy, trying to have some sort of information going in his favor. But he's going to spot one more guy. Finish being spotted again towards B Palace, and Criminal is going to be coming in. So I'm not quite sure what they're trying to do right now, but well, nonetheless, Feint is going to avoid that flashbang, and the T side is not really going to come out towards the B bombs. And the C4 is actually falling back while Hasib watches mid, and Feint is going to go down as well. So a 3v5 situation. Criminal is going to be blinded for a second. He's going to get the first one. Can he get the second as well? Or maybe he's just going to lag out and is almost finding the second frag right there. Lagging out for a bit. And Finish is getting a finish while Oops survives on 4 points of health and gets a frag onto him. But the refrag not coming from Chance. He's going to be waiting with the deagle inside the smoke, and HSB as well. He has to save the day. Chance is going to get taken out. Look at that shot though. Ooh, crispy headshot. Gonna get the second one as well in a 1v3 situation. This is a little too much to ask for. He doesn't have Kevlar either to work with. He's gonna get taken down as well, and that is going to be the equalizer coming in for the Terrier side.
Well, finally War winning an anti-force. But yeah, unfortunate that Chance could have actually sprayed down both those players coming out B apartments, and then the entire complexion of the round would have changed. But that lag spike just completely kneecapping him there for a second, and that's all that any opponent needs. All you need in a game of Counter-Strike is just a second's advantage, and you can turn the tide in the favor of your team. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunate there for Trans. Scores are tied 4-4. Game is happening on Mirage, and we do have a player timing out from Team War. So as we just wait, Mamba, how is college life? Now, it's been a while since I've graduated from college, but I remember it being extremely hectic. How do you manage to balance casting and the talent life with college? I mean, it has to be difficult, doesn't it?
It is. To be very honest, it's very difficult. It's more than what people would usually think, right? It's for normal students, since they have so many assignments and everything. And you know, things have changed over the course of time. Now they believe in more of assignment work. They give you submissions and they ask you for active learning assignments and everything. So apart from just giving exams and passing out, there are a lot more things. So for our internal grades, right? For example, if we have 50 marks, and the internal written exams are going to be for about 10 or 15 marks, and the rest are going to be active learning assignments, presentations, submissions, and portfolios, and everything that you have to make. And it does get a little hectic. And my university actually came up with something called design engineering, and what that means is you pick up a topic in the second year, that's the third semester, and you work on that one project throughout your college and try and come up with a finished product at the end of the day, at the end of the year, and at the end of the college. So that part, they have one more thing called 100 points activity. So you have to participate in extracurricular activities. If you do not collect 100 points by the end of your college, you are not going to get, you're not going to get your degree. So yeah, they want to make all-rounded students, but they don't consider the fact that there are some students who are into certain things which the university still does not recognize. For example, esports. So I had a really tough time fighting with my university, fighting with my college, trying to convince them that there's something happening in esports, and they did not pay any sort of attention to this. By the way, I remember casting European tournaments till 4 or 5 in the morning and waking up at 8 in the morning and rushing to college, and they did not understand it till the time when ESL India Premiership started airing on TV. They didn't really care about it. So it is extremely difficult, but one of the most important parts is that if you have good friends, it gets a little easier for you, because they'll help you in your projects. If it's a group project, even if you don't do anything, they'll be all okay with it, and during exams they'll teach you subjects as well, and that is exactly what has been happening to me. So I have my friend over most of the times, and he teaches me subjects.
That's just brutal, dude. Like, I remember my college days, they were just they were better. Like, my college was not by any means a very understanding college. They hated extracurriculars. But then again, when I was in college, none of this was even a thing, like esports and all. It was just a distant dream that you'd watch on Twitch and cry yourself to night. Mera number kab aayega?
Kab aayega?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
It was just a distant dream. There was nothing in the country back then. And yeah, I'm happy that I'm getting to do this now. It's just such a nice change of pace that, you do your work in the morning and then come back in the evening and you get to cast Counter-Strike. I'm so pumped up. But then every day, most days rather, not every day, I'm pumped up that, yeah, aaj Indian CS kuch karke dikhayega Tufani, and then it's just like that. It's just so disappointing that you lose anti-ecos time and time again, have no idea how to throw nades, executes are a bit shoddy. But then I'm seeing the change as well. Teams like Too Easy coming up, teams like Invictus, teams like Entity Gaming, Malhar, they're all improving at an astronomical rate, and they've actually pulled up the scene by their socks. I'm even seeing like teams from the lower rungs of Indian Counter-Strike perform better, have a better idea about the game, just because of the trickle-down knowledge that is being transferred onto them by watching these teams. And I'm hopeful, I'm really hopeful that the scene actually picks up and goes somewhere and makes a mark on the Asian scene. Internationally, it's still a long ways away. But I hope that teams like Entity, Too Easy, Portal, Invictus, Malhar, they can actually do something in the Asian scene and get a few upset results, qualify for a few lands, for a few Asian lands, and that's going to really help the scene grow a lot.
That's true. And now, with the internet improving and getting better pings to Singapore, we've seen certain changes in Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike is a game where, for example, take an example of Battlefield, right? Even if you're playing on 100 ping, it didn't really make a huge difference. But in Counter-Strike, it's the difference between day and night. You cannot be playing on 100 ping, and this is something we've been noticing, right? We've seen a lot of rounds where PES struggle due to their ping, but they have been picking those rounds up, and catching up with their nutty aim. But that being said, we are seeing the changes in the trends, the way the teams have been playing. We have seen new talent, new players coming up, and the best example I could give you is Too Easy, right? Because we've seen Tito, Rex, all of these guys used to be puck stars, and suddenly they get that perfect combination of players, and they shine out to, I think it was fall season finale Hyderabad. That is the first time they made it to the final stage, and everyone's attention was towards Too Easy. So that's just one of those teams that I've been talking about. But one thing I really want to bring back about college is a lot of new players, a lot of younger students want to get into pro gaming, and they're like, what, I'll just quit college. Pro tip: do not quit college, because see, the reason being, right? At least no one can exploit you. That's the only thing. No one will be able to exploit you. That's it. That is what I feel.
that is true. I mean, it's very important that you actually get a higher education, because you never this life, the gaming life, the professional career life, or the talent life, it's a very ephemeral and you know, it's a very nascent thing still in the country, and there's no security, and you need to have a fallback no matter what you do. That's just how I feel. And I hope that the 5th member from Team War, you know, joins back, because I think there's only that much we can talk about college and life without sounding like 40-year-old uncles trying to teach kids, you know, how to live their lives. And that's not where I'd want to be just now. I'm turning 26 in 3 days. I don't want to sound like a, you know, broken old radiator or an old fart who's like just, you know, waiting to, you know, pass on the knowledge. No. That's not where I want to be
how
right now.
we all go for. But talking about Counter-Strike, today I noticed something really mind-numbing, I'd say. 2 hours of deathmatch being casted out, but for a cause. But that was fun in its own sense for the first 15 minutes, but the rest of the time, that's an hour and 45 minutes. But in the meantime, we have the last player connecting on the server. Kazi is going to be back, and War is on a timeout. So what I'm worried about is the fact that, you know, Portal Esports is actually on a free VPN. They only have 500 MB of data, and they've already used up 150 MB. So I am not quite sure if they'll be able to complete their match without, you know, exhausting their entire bandwidth and data before the match gets done.
I doubt 500 MB is a lot of data when it comes to just gaming. You rarely use that much in one game. But let's see. Let's hope. Let's all stays well, because game's live, guys. Finally, countdown has begun. We're gonna go into the 9th round. Pretty questionable buys from both sides. War, Kazi gone for, I think he's been dropped in AK-47. Oh, there we go. He's been dropped in UMP. And they definitely have the weapons advantage. 1 AWP, 3 AK-47s, and the UMP. They did win the previous, so now it's down to Pez to even out the scores. And that flash from Trans, a bit questionable. I don't think it gets anyone in high mid at all.
Alright, so it is going to be Feint, the waiting out towards jungle, and yeah, Swag 7 on to Pokemon. So I'm just hoping that it does not go for that unneeded aggression.
Alright, it's a 4-man stack towards the A bomb site. Now this is a bit of a questionable decision. The bomb so far is making its way, well, is hanging around the A bomb site, and Pez Pokemonster has made his way in towards A ramp. Now he's holding a very aggressive angle, and that's the Swag 7. 1 bullet from that in the right location, and you're down for the count. But now somehow War has gotten the perfect read. They realized that it might be a stack towards the A bomb site. I don't know how. Might have just been their default for this round, that we'll just make some noise here and there and then hit B. But it's the right call, because Portal Esports has gone and stacked towards the A bomb site, and the hit is coming in towards B. It's gonna come down to Criminal. He has to go beast mode, and he's gonna spot out Finish, and Finish is down. Count. Criminal has a lot more to do. He's gonna get the dink onto Baba the Beast, but Baba the Beast, as is true to his name, just beasting completely, and Kazi burns him promptly for his good efforts. But there's Saz with the AWP from B Apartments, marking the cross from Market, and he's gonna get the kill. Oh, HSV scoping out worst possible moment, but still managing to get the dink into Oops. It's a 3v3, good positioning, good post plans from War, and Pokemonster unable to get the kill in the meantime. Oops and Kazi have doubled up and gotten 2 kills. Pokemonster and HSB are down to the count, and Trans unable to land the spray down on Kazi. Kazi will end that round. Very important 2k, but unfortunately they were unable to recover the AWP that was dropped by Saz in B apps. They're gonna have to make do without the op, but considering that Pez are going to be on more or less a full eco, just a couple of upgraded pistols here and there, they should be going for at least a couple of Mac 10s or a couple of umps in that buy-up, so that they can farm that dirty SMG money. पर ऐसा कुछ नहीं होने वाला, क्योंकि इकोनॉमिक्स में सब फेल हुए थे, इसीलिए इस बार रीटेस्ट भी हो रहा है बोर्ड में. तो हम 5 राइफल लेके अंधों की तरह दौड़ेंगे, and hopefully they're just able to mow down the defense that Portal will mount.
वैसे retest तो paper leak हुआ था उसके वजह से हो रहा है, but yeah, nonetheless they would have failed anyway, because that is the reason why they had to leak the paper in the first place. But Getting back to it, 2 Deagles and 3 P250s to work with. A flashbang onto Pokemon Monster and Hasib holding that angle of a pretty sweet knife, by the way. Goes along with his gloves. A rich boy. So, well, it's going to be Criminal along with him on the crossfire towards shore. Now, this is a fairly hard angle to hit, to be honest, with the pistol. And Pokemon's having that map control to work with. So, a lot of information being fed to the CTs right now that they have a palace control. There are 2 guys inside palace and there's no one inside the palace area as well. So, only 1 guy towards slope. It's actually 1 guy on the pushed out. So, Finish having absolutely no idea that they are going to be waiting around. The perfect bait and switch setup coming inside the A palace. So, this is going to be interesting to see how it actually works out. But Criminal on the short. It is going to be an A execute coming from the terrace side. And Criminal is just going to wait around expecting someone to come in from T slow. And Fane is going to try and find the first one. Gets the first one. Oh, wait. What did just happen?
That is called a team kill, Mahama. That is getting overexcited. Oh, HSB. The bait and switch. Oops. He just finds his head rolling on the floor. Trans is alive on the A bomb side. Bomb dropped in a very precarious position. Trans, though. Lalach buri bala hai balak. Wanted to go for that AK-47. But then Saz is just like, nah, I'm gonna just blow your head clean off. And Saz, he's left alone. I think 1 player has timed out from... It is going to be Kazi. He was having ping issues when the game started. And Saz is getting shot from every direction. Down to 4 HP in a 1v3. This is looking highly, highly improbable that he's going to manage to clutch it out. And Portal win yet another only pistol buy. Just 1 player having any armor. Everyone else was just upgraded pistols or even just default pistols. And they just beat War with nothing. And that is why an SMG would have been a much better option in my opinion, because you could have sent out a scouting party, helped them out with some utility. He could have gotten some opening picks. An SMG, losing an SMG against armored opponents, not really, against, if you give up an SMG and you have armor and AK-47s to fall back on, you're not that worried. But you give up an AK-47 or just keep losing people consistently to pistols in those tight choke points, you're gonna get worried and you're gonna get mowed down. This is Counter-Strike. Pistols are still OP, and that's just what Portal proved that previous round.
And I was actually quite surprised. You mentioned that it was a team kill. For me, on the screen on the top right side, the kill notification said Finish actually killed himself, and that is what was very surprising for me, because he was on the ground and there was literally no way that he could have killed himself, because there were no nades, there were no Molotovs. So I'm quite surprised at how could that have happened. But that's just something I'll have to go down and download the demo and watch the match and watch the round to figure out. But 2 of the players on Wargaming have timed out, and this is just plaguing our tournament right now. It's just unfortunate. It's upsetting as well at the same time. And yeah, players timing out, and I was actually thinking that the internet has improved, but clearly it has not at all. Absolutely nope, never.
Huh. Sorry, I forgot. I couldn't catch what you were saying there. Water's leaking on my roof. That is upsetting and disturbing. Right now, that is more immediate concern, because I don't want to get a call from the landlord saying that the neighbors are complaining about leaking water. God, neighbors in India, they want to know what's happening in your house more than what's happening in theirs, and that is really disturbing to me, because I couldn't give a less of a crap about what they're doing in their behind their four walls.
The only one time where I've really seen a problem where is one of the days when you were casting and something happened, you hyped up, and they actually filed a noise complaint.
Yes, they have. They've actually filed a noise complaint against me for being too loud while casting. So I have to, you have to start enjoying my rather dulcet tones, because I can't go too loud. There's apparently a kid next door who gets upset by my loud voice. Damn. Wait a minute. Pokemon doesn't have armor but has an AK-47. Wait, what? This can't be right. He spent $6,000. There's no way that he didn't have armor. Or is this a GoTV bug? I don't know.
No, this cannot be a GoTV bug. He has spent that amount of money, and wait. The math does not add up, because unless he dropped an M4, unless he drop what? Okay. I'm not quite sure what is exactly happening. I'm just going to pull out my calculator right now and add everything up. Just give me a bit. Alright, so M4 is $3,100. And plus 600 for the incendiary, 300 for the smoke, plus 200 for the flash, plus 300 for the grenade, plus 300 for the P250. Alright, I think I've made a mistake somewhere over here. Alright, 300. Perfect. 3100, 600, 300, and that's $4,800. Alright. How is this possible? Not quite sure. No, nonetheless, I'm not going to go into the details for now, but the terrorist side, we're gonna have P250s and CZs to work with, so the scoreline has equalized and the server is a bit laggy, but the war is going to go in for that bomb rush towards B, and HSB is going to boost his teammate up there, so the perfect bait switch is going to be coming in. Innocent is just waiting it out, trying to get the first one, trying to get the second one as well, but Fade being traded out really quickly, and War, are they going to pull off a complete eco? This cannot be happening. This is not how you play Counter-Strike. This is... Alright, so it is going to be Pokemon, so it's going to get taken down, and that is going to be the round for the terrorist. I don't know, never mind, Trans is still alive, and kind of surprising. It's going to be in a 1v3. Has to pull this off. He only has an off to work with, so it's going to be extremely difficult for him. He is going to get spotted, and the kit. Alright. So this is going to be interesting to see how it actually works out, but Trans is just going to be falling back, trying to save his weapon up, trying to save his AWP up, and yeah, kind of surprising. A full eco going in towards the terrorist side. How did this even happen? I don't get this, Fit. I don't get this at all.
I have no idea how that B hold would have just crumbled like that. It's like 5 players with no armor, just pistols, just bum rushing the B bomb site, and has just completely. They looked completely out of sorts, completely out of their element. They couldn't hit anything. They just got overrun. Now it's their turn to force up. And War is going to lose this round, I'm pretty sure, because that's just how this game has gone on for so long. And it's actually not that bad a buy. They've managed to put 3 rifles on the board, Pokemonster with a P250, and this man can kill with more or less anything. Give him a knife, and I think he'll still manage to find a kill around. And Trans opening things up. Oops, he did it again. Just walked into the crosshairs of his opponent and just paid for it with his life. Finished throwing down a smoke to aid in his teammates. Well, and there we go. Like I said, Pokemonster gets a kill with the P250. Gets the AK-47, but then does get taken down. Trans trying to play off sound cues. He has to stay alive, allow for the teammates to come in for the rotation. They do have a Molotov onto Trans, who's going to throw that towards Firebox. That nade going to go sailing in. Doesn't do too much damage, but Baba the Beast again beasting. And he's still alive. Trans needs to go huge. And Trans both retaking from CD spawn. It's a 3v4, wait, make that a 2v2. Kazi gets found out by Trans. Feint finds Baba the Beast. And now it's all gonna come down to finish in a 1v2. Can he do it? Finish opens the spray, but Feint closes the chapter of this round with the final kill. Feint with the 2k. Trans with the 2k. Pokemonster with that one single kill that he got playing on default position. And like I said, Pez was gonna win that round, and they did. You can call me Nostradamus now.
Oh boy, how I'm trying to wrap my head around this, but it's I'm sorry, I only have like 120 IQ. I cannot wrap my head around this. This doesn't happen, dude. How is this even possible?
Excuse me. I have to wash down a little bit of bitter taste in my mouth, but it's possible because remember yesterday when we were playing Train, we were 13-2 up on the CT side and we lost 16-14. That's how. It's a pug. It's a pug. It's a tactical pug. You were cribbing about, you know, casting a deathmatch. I don't know. I've seen PES play, right? I've seen them play on LAN. I've been following them since they were Game for Glory back in the day last year, and they have strats. I think they're just choosing not to use them right about now. I don't know why. I don't know for what reason. Do they not want to show their strategies? Do they not want to, you know, show their opponents what they're truly capable of until they make it to LAN? But guys, your opponents aren't pushovers. You need strats. You need to show something to prove that you're worthy of LAN. And everyone wants those. Everyone wants to be in that top 4 slot. No one will give it up for you. You need to bring your A game day in, day out. That's why a league format is so grueling, because it's not just about 2 days or 3 days of showing up. You have to be there consistently every game you play, because every game matters.
That is true. That's absolutely true. And you know, you have to be consistent. Consistency is the key to make it to the top 4, because you know it's not a knockout. It's not a knockout format, right? Because if it's a knockout format, fine. You have an off day. So if you're playing one day you go up against a very good team and you are having a good day, you're gonna win the matchup. But if it's a best of 3, the results could be something else. And this is why we talk about upsets a lot, right? Teams like, for example, there's FaZe going up against Mouse, for example, and Mouse pulls it off. Even though they're more than a capable team, but FaZe is FaZe, right? And it's a BO1. In a BO3, there are more chances that FaZe is going to pull it off. I'd rather say 90% chances that FaZe would pull it off. But that just happens, right? So consistency is the key, and one of the other players on War is actually going to time out. What is it? PC issue. Alright, so the players are saying that it's a computer issue. Now, this is something that just happens in esports, right? If you're playing a cricket match, you won't be like, bro, mera bat toot gaya, main abhi nahi khelega. You don't say that. But with computers, it's a different story, because these things are expensive, and you can't just have a second
exactly
PC
what I
in
was
your
gonna
face.
say. Like, a bat is what? Even the most expensive bat the professionals will use will be what? 20k? 30k?
20,000 probably max.
Yeah, probably, right? And this would at least run you up at least 70 to 80,000 if you want a decent rig to play CS:GO. Difficult to have backups when you're.
And that's just also that's just the computer, by the way. Mouse, keyboard, headphones, different story. Monitor, different story.
Yeah, exactly. Peripherals are also expensive now, because all the companies just love to add the word gaming in front of third party gaming. Mouse 4 times as expensive as normal mouse. What's the difference? Diwali in your mouse. RGB LEDs.
Well, so that's the thing, right? And it's not just lights. It's, I don't know, for some reason a lot of newer players, right? They tend to go in for cheaper mice, even though it doesn't make sense, because it's gonna skip in the end. You cannot play on low sensitivity. It has to be a very good sensor for you to be able to play on those sensitivities. But yeah, we have a few of the brands, but nonetheless, getting back to this, the player hasn't yet reconnected. This is going to be interesting to see how it actually pans out. But looking at the scoreline 6-6, I am kind of surprised, even though it's a fairly balanced map. This is not the scoreline PES would want to have on the CD side, especially on the first half, because you want to build that pressure up. And War, fine, they play well, they have some experienced players as well, but I'm fairly certain that under a lot of pressure, under a huge scoreline, they would crumble and not be able to set that comeback rolling. But the player has connected, the game is going to go live, and well, the buy is going to come in on both the sides, and Pokemon is going to have that swag set to work with.
Alright, can War win this? This is the 13th round. If they lose this, they've more or less ensured that it could just be a 9-6 half. Whichever team loses it can be a 9-6 half for the other team. So it's a very pivotal round, this. And Pes is going to wait for that flashbang from his teammate. And look at Saz, he's waiting for that position. And Pokemon will again forget to check that same close corner. Man, Pokemon, you really don't learn from your mistakes, do you? And he's going to get punished for his complacency. And now the A hit comes in. Players streaming in. Criminal going to push the smoke and will get his shit pushed in by Saz. Just says, no son, go back where you came from, back into the smoke. And Trans, he's trying to get a shot off, cheeky shot off through the gap in the smoke. Will land the no-scope, getting the man advantage back down. And Trans still trying to go huge for his teammates. Paint will get taken out by Kazi, and again the retake will have to come in from CD spawn. Both looks like they have an idea where Baba the Beast is playing from HS. He's just spamming that close right corner, but the lag just not allowing him to get the kill, and Trans will fall. He did manage a nice little wallbang onto Oops, but it is going to be War that takes that round. And like I said, whichever team won that round, because of the way the economy has been going throughout this first half, Pez will have their work cut out for them. It's again going to be pistols for days for them. And War, please just consolidate your team. Just go for... You have so much utility. Chuck it. Use it. Throw it. Just clear out those pesky little closed angles and corners that Mirage is abound with. And I'm pretty sure you can win your first anti-eco.
Oh, that's true, but... Well, they're going to force it up. They realize that they are going to be in the double eco territory, even if they lose this round. So they're going to force it up. We have Criminal with the 5-7 playing fairly aggressive towards A-bombs. The only guy on the A-bomb side also, by the way. And this is not the best of reads that the CTs could have made. But I think if it's an A take and he cannot get a few opening frags, they're just going to try and save it. He's going to get the first one, trying to get the second one as well. He's going to get it. Shooting the wall for half a second right there due to the lag, but Saz is going to get taken down as well, and they are going to be coming in towards A bombs because this is now doable for the CTs, and Kazi is going to make his way towards the tower, and the CT is taking things fairly slowly, but they do have a smoke, a flashbang, and a nade to work with. Pokemonster, use that nade up, kid. Come on, he has spotted him. He's finally going to use that nade up, and that is going to be Kobe. Kazi is going to get taken down. That was right on his face. And well, he's going to go around the corner with the P250, trying to find the frag, and the flashbang being on point. Baba is going to be blinded to eternity right now. And it's going to be Baba on 9 points. Well, he's going to get taken down. Nope, that is not going to happen. A lot of time is going to get wasted, and Trans is the only guy who has a kit to work with. And he's going to go in for the defuse. So the anti-eco again and again and again. I'm not even surprised now.
Well, I think Super Stitum can download this demo and make a video on Criminal called the Lag Criminal. And because those two opening kills were just sublime, like even fighting the ping, and he's just gotten 2 opening frags that were huge for his team. And that's what ensured that Pez actually have a fighting chance to see off this half and don't end up getting a 9-6 on the CT side. Mirage is predominantly a CT sided map, so you would expect the CT side to come out on top, and now they have exactly that chance to do that, have an 8-7 half at the very least.
That's true, that is absolutely true, and Criminal is going to be pushing in towards underpass with the M4 to work with. Now this is going to be interesting because Kazi is shooting, giving away his position that he's actually looking as well, so Fane just throwing in the deep smoke, throwing in the flashbang as well, not allowing the terrorist side to gain control of the B apartments. Now Criminal is going to be on the backstep, so around 7 points of the refrag is going to be coming in from Baba, and Baba again watching the B palace does not want Fane to push up because since the smoke is deep, he would expect someone to be there. And that is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to have that AK-47 to work with. He can fall back after getting the first one. But this is going to be extremely difficult. Oops is going to get taken down. And the terrorist side, they have decided to fall back towards the T-base and towards the A-bomb set with the C4. So Baba, having the smoke to work with, is going to make his way towards mid while HSB and Trans watch it. The flashbang is going to come up. Perfect flash. Picture perfect flash. He's going to peek up. Get the first flag. Can he get the second one as well? HSB is not going to be able to get it. How does this happen though? Almost find the flag onto him. 8 points of L to work with, and it is going to be a 2v1 in the favor of the CT's fate.
Yeah, and Baba the Beast with HP making his way towards the B bomb side, and Feint should be cutting it off. Nope, it's going to be Pokemonster who gets the kill onto Baba the Beast, and Pez will finish the first round, 8 rounds on their favor with 7 going to war. It's been a pretty even half, and even the scoreboard reflects it. There's been no clear swings of momentum. It's just been back and forth throughout. But Pez just coming out slightly on top thanks to their sublime skill with the pistols. They have just shown War how to pistol in CSGO. But now the question is, who will win the pistol round? Because when a game is hanging so tightly, like so closely on the weapons, you want to come out on top by winning the pistol round and the subsequent 2 rounds. That has been a problem for both the teams. They have both struggled against anti-ecos. They've both lost anti-ecos. Will they be able to win the pistol round and then the subsequent 2 rounds? Because that is going to set them off for a pretty good start on either side for either team.
Well, that is true, and with the pistols coming into the first round, this is going to be interesting to see because Oops is going to have that kit to work with. And the terror side, they are going to make it. They are going to make an A play. The smoke is going to go out as well. The flashbang coming in, and everyone has just started pouring out. HSB being spotted right. Then Kazi is going to find the back out. How do they not communicate the information? Why is there such a huge delay? And Feint is going to take jungle control as well, so a lot of map control for the terror side after the bomb being planted. So it is going to be finished along with his team and going towards the CT base, trying to make the most of the situation. But Feint hearing the CT coming in through connected, the information is going to get passed on, and look at those shots. What?
Wow, what a good retake, Mamba. That was picture perfect. Such a crisp and clean retake. 3 shots, 3 headshots, and War tying things up yet again. That was beautiful. War, hats off to you. That actually was a very good retake mounted by you, dear sirs.
That's true. That is absolutely true. And Trans is gonna force it up. Actually, he's gonna get the AK-46 passed out. So this is gonna be interesting. This is a fair, pretty interesting. But this reminds me of this reminds me of Chinese teams from 10 years back in Counter-Strike 1.6. They just buy the AK-47, pass it around, buy a few bullets, for all the players, and you know, everyone, every single time when the AK got dropped, they just pick it up and try and use it. So one of those rounds, one of those plays coming in, and they have 4 Deagles and an AK-47 to work with. This might as well just work out for them. So Criminal is going to be going in towards Connector, getting some sort of information. Cause is not going to be expecting this. Tranzo, on the other hand, is just going to be waiting while Feint gets taken down. So this is going to be a lot of pressure onto Trans, trying to make this work, and Criminal, along with his teammate, just waiting it out. It's going to be in a very awkward spot right now. Watching the bomb site, is not going to be able to find a lot of information. While Sass is going to go down, Trans is going to find the first pick. Kazi just being a little surprised right there. They're going to fall back while Criminal gets taken down. Now this should not have happened, but now they know that they are going to be on the retreat. But we have one more. We have them falling back towards the palace. All right, well, it is going to be Pokemon just waiting it out. Kazi having the entry line, and oops, spamming through this smoke. But look at that, Pokemon almost find the frag onto him. Starting on 1 point of health, is going to get taken down, reducing it to a 3-3 fit.
And I was just about to say that I really like the positions coming in from War. They're playing the distance very well. Kazi, if he peeks out, he can land 2 easy frags right now. But he's going to be patient, and he's going to land the spray down on Trans. And that's the play with the AK-47. And he's going to get, and he's going to get taken down. Kazi, free upgrade to the AK-47 for him. And patience is key. जैसा कि बोलते हैं, नाना नानी बोलते थे भाइयों और सब्र का फल मीठा होता है, and Kazi just exemplified that proverb to no end. He just very well played from Kazi. He could have peeked out earlier, could have been greedy, but he played the long con, he played the waiting game, and he came out on top for his team.
Well, that is true. That is absolutely true. And well, War is going to be leading the scoreline now. This is again not a scoreline we expected while Portal Esports was playing, but now I've started to feel that Portal Esports, even though I've known these guys, right? I mean, personally I don't know them, but I've heard their names. I've heard it from the Pakistani counterparts, all the casters as well that I've been talking about them. I've heard it from you as well. You know, G4G days. These guys have been playing well, but this is just a little too upsetting. Not obviously not taking away the fact that they are playing at 100 ping, but the mistakes that these guys have been making have nothing to do with the ping. Just saying. But nonetheless, Oops is going to be waiting it out. Has Famas to work with. Criminal is going to be making his way towards connectors. So a pretty slow round coming from both teams. And I mean, pairs don't really have anything going for them right now in this round. It's no armor, just a couple of upgraded pistols, 2 Glocks, 2 pistols. And as I say that, Criminal Glock swoops in the face, recovers the FAMAS, doesn't have armor to work with, and he's going to go barreling towards underpass and towards the B bomb site, getting stuck on the scaffolding there a little bit, and now it's down to finish. He's going to lay down the spray down, gets 1, 2, 3. He's just lined them up, and now it's all down to Criminal. Bomb hasn't gone down yet. It's a 1v3 in the blink of an eye. The blink of an eye. Finish just wrecked the entire opposition. Now finally Criminal does find that kill, but it's still a 1v2. A huge, monumental task set ahead of him. Armor, can he do this? There's still 30 seconds left on the clock, Mamba. Do you think he'll be able to pull this off? Well, it's a little too much to ask for, but obviously it's possible. He's going to jump down though. He's going to give away his position. Does not have Kevlar to work with the aim punch. It's going to be a problem, and that is exactly what happens. Had he had the Kevlar, he could have actually pulled it off and got the frag onto the opposition. But well, it's going to get taken with, and only the FAMAS to work with. Not the most ideal weapon, fairly decent weapon though. But the scoreline is going to be 8-10 in the favor of War, and War's economy isn't that great either. But Portal Esports, they're broken nonetheless. So this round is going to be fairly crucial. If the series lose this one, they are going to they'll have to go on a force buy, and so will the tier side, I'm presuming, because they'll have about $2,900 coming in if they lose this one, so they'll be able to force it up. So both these teams, this round is actually going to be very, very crucial, and Portal Esports will have to make sure, even if they don't pick this round up, they'll have to make sure that they do a lot of economic damage to the CD side.
It's a very crucial round either way. Pez wins this, at the score up essentially, and War win this. They've gone up 12 rounds. It'll be 12-8 because next round is going to be an eco, and Pokemonster open things up with the headshot onto Saz. You have Trans waiting in connector, but he's going to look away at the worst possible moment, gets shot in the back by Oops. And now it's just a flurry of bullets flying through the smoke. Someone just trying to land a cheeky little headshot. Oops making his way upstairs. And the post plans, they're decent, they're not the best. There's still players out in the open. There's Pokemonster. And what? Pokemonster just shoots Baba the Beast in the face. That's instant facial reconstruction surgery there. And it's a 2v3. There we go, but Finish is not in the mood to be trifled with. HSB gets one finish so very low, he has to go huge. And HSB should just wait for the plant, just play for the plant. Oh, HSB missing his jump. Sorry, not HSB, that was Finish missing his jump. And Finish. Pros don't fake, but he did. And they're both equally low, but HSB will peek out in the nick of time because he knew that at some point or the other, Finish had to go for that defuse. And PES win that round by the skin of their teeth. They cut it close. And War, again, a player seems to have timed out. And we're going to have to wait for him till he joins back into the server. Why isn't... Or maybe they've used up all their technical time allocated to them.
Well, that is true. And it's just unfortunate. You really can't do anything about this. And Portal Esports had to push it over 4v5 as well. We had a different team. I think it was VACBand who had to push it over 4v5. So they'll just have to go on with it unless they just waste a lot of time in this round. Just hide in the corners of the map, use these and milk these 1 minute and 30 seconds, and along with that, use their tactical timeouts if they have them available. But oops, he's gonna be pushing in. He is going to pay the price for it. He's going to get taken down, and that's just going to leave 3 CTs up against 5 Ts, and that is not a favorable situation to be in, especially on Nico. So the most that the CT will be looking forward to do, they're doing a lot of economic damage, and Trans is just lining them up, taking them now one by one, making 1v1s, and he's gonna get 3 frags while he seals the 4th one, and the score is gonna get tied at 10-10, and the CTs are probably going to opt for a pause, or are they going to go in and call a sub?
I have no clue.
And a little sportsman spirit. It is going to be Portal Esports calling a timeout for the opposition, I'm presuming.
Yes, it is going to be a PES timeout which is being called for War. Love this display of sportsmanship from Portal Esports. And I mean, War did the same for VACBand back in the day when we had the second day of the ESL India Masters Premiership. When VACBand, one player got timed out and had no way of rejoining the server. War took 2 of their timeouts to allow them the extra time over and above the 15 minutes of technical timeout that's allocated, so that they get that extra minute or so to come join back into the game. And these are the little displays of sportsmanship that really make me happy that I'm a part of this scene, and I'm glad that this scene is growing as well.
That is so true. That is so true, because it's just a beautiful sight to watch with all of these teams making it the Masters. They are actually role models for a lot of newer teams who have been coming in. They're like, what, we look up to these guys, and they have been doing a wonderful job at making sure that they set the right example for up and coming players and up and coming teams. But the flashbang is going to be on point. This person trying to line them up is not going to be able to get the second one. But oops, he's going to find the frag onto Trans. He's going back, trying to get the second one as well. He's still going to get it. Criminal is going to get taken down. It's going to be Feint on 4 points of health. The nade is going to get thrown out, and Feint is going to get thrown in the outer space. And Asib is going to get taken down as well. But in the meantime, that is going to be the 11th round coming up for the CT side.
If I were in a CSGO trading page right now and PES just did that, I would have just written, plus rep, plus vouch, Portal. That was a very decent move there. And just because of that timeout, War was able to get their 5th player back into the server, and they just won the round, and quite convincingly. Saz with a nade of dreams. 1 nade to kill them all, 1 nade to obliterate them. And let's not take away what Oops did as well. 2 quick kills, getting that 4v2 down to a 2v2. Very good frags coming out from War that previous round. And okay, Trans, he just doesn't sit back. He's been opening up the A bomb site, getting the initial frag time and time again. And HSB this time will shit the bed a little bit. Kazi with the immediate trade, and Trans, he's gonna get smoked off. They have taken connector control. War not really going much for mid control this time around. And there we go. That's the problem. Having no one spotting towards connector, you're always going to be a bit exposed. And Pokemonster coming in from Market. I think he played himself in from Sniper Nest, or did he get boosted up? I am not sure, but whatever. It's again a 2v4. Finish, getting the kill on the Criminal, brings it down to a 3v2. Finished. Does he know that Pokemon is just around the corner? Yes, he does, and he's able to bring it down to a 2v2, but at the great cost to his HP. He's down to 8 health. Bomb yet down to the bomb side. Baba the Beast lying in wait towards CT spawn. This can go very, very south for Portal Esports if they don't play it properly. Yes, finish is low, but Baba's position is the trump card. It's the ace up their sleeve. If he can get the bomb planter down before, just before the timer goes out, why is he moving? He had the position there.
Yes, I'm not quite sure about that, but well, they're going to gain control of the A bomb, so the bomb is going to go down as well, and the CTs are going to be on the retake. But Baba, is he going to get caught off guard? Feint is going to go around the corner, trying to find the frag, but well, Baba is going to find the frag. He's going to get taken down. It is going to be Trans in a 2v1. Both of the players on 8 points of health, and the flashbang is going to go out. Now, this is something that is doable for Trans, but Trans has absolutely no idea about the second guy being low on health points as well. So just waiting out, playing it really slowly. He's going to find the first frag. Gonna get the second one as well. The CT is just going to stick, or maybe not. He just fakes it out. And the CT is going to stick it, or maybe not. Just doing it, playing it to perfection. Trans has been playing this to perfection and played it so nicely. He is going to get the 10th round for his team. And that is going to be the score line. And in the second half, actually the 11th round, it was the equalizer that came up. And round number 23 coming up now. This looks like a very close match of it.
Yes, it does. And I just love what Trans did there. He was like a cat playing with his food, rattling off a shot, falling back into cover, just sowing the seeds of doubt into Baba the Beast's mind. And that's what did it, because at the end of the day, Baba had to go and stick the defuse. Had he just, knotted up and stuck it the first time around, I think he would have had it. But that's a very, very tough position to be in. And look at this, three-man stack towards Connector, and they're going to be pushing mid. Criminal getting dinked out instantly, but Criminal and Feint both dying towards mid and giving up bomb. This is huge. You do have HSB just barreling back, spots out Finish, who's down to 23 HP. No nade onto HSB, but he'll still manage to land the headshot, and now it's all down to Kazi in a 1v3. No armor, but does have an AK-47. Doesn't look like he's gonna get much out of it from this point onwards, because Trans is gonna come peeking up mid, and Trans is gonna end Kazi's tail for this round. However, that mid push really getting 2 kills, keeping the economy honest on Fez's side. Good, solid eco. And it's not just that. They got a lot of information regarding how Portal is setting up early round as well. And maybe they can use it to their advantage come their buy round. And looks like they're going to be forcing it up here, War.
Well, they have to, because they don't have a lot of rounds to work with. They do not want to give the opportunity to Portal Esports to build up their economy and that come back rolling again, because, it's a matter of 3 more rounds until it comes to match point, and Kazi is going to find that early opening, so the force buy is actually going to work out and is going to pay off. Not a lot of resources, obviously, but this is something that this is a chance that they had to take whatsoever. But Pokemon is going to be towards the ace low with the Mac 10 to work with. The scoreline is still in the favor of the Terry side, but Trans is going to try and find an opening. But in the meantime, Criminal find the frag on Oops. So, well, this is going to be fairly interesting. That Pokemon is just waiting it out. That intuition though, but he's going to get taken a while. Saz, along with the teammate, push out towards Ace Slope and get so much information, while Trans is going to be on the backstab. Look at that. The amount of information they have right now is unreal. Or should I say misinformation, because they're saying that Ace Slope is clear. Probably A Palace as well, and the entire A side as well. But look at that, Trans might just get backstabbed. Is it going to happen though? He's not going to hear him. Finally hearing him out. And we'll find the frag onto Saz as well. So that is going to reduce it to a 2v3. I'll finish. Watches across towards the bomb side. The other guy on the Terry side, that is going to be Trans just waiting out. So it is going to plant it for Palace. And they're going to try and make things work. The flashbang going in towards Jungle's area is not really going to blind anyone. I think he just misused both of those flashbangs. Unless I missed out Trans falling back, trying to move back to the T-base. But nonetheless, it is going to be something that is going to be interesting to watch. Trying to find the first one. Spotting the first second to get the frag though. Is not going to be able to do it. Being double peaked right there. Trans is going to come in from the Palace, and the Molotov has been primed up as well. He's going to try and find the frag. Guess the first one can get the second as well. Oh, getting the second one as well. Not being able to get the third, but he's going to be able to defuse the bomb. He has enough time to work with. And that is going to be the equalizer. Wargaming.
Oh, that was close. But yeah, Trans, I mean, he did have a Molotov. If he just chucked it down to default, could have won the round for his team. But then again, in the heat of the moment, these things really tend to escape your mind. But Pez do get the bomb down, which means they will be able to go in with a full proper buy. However, War will struggle to put a buy together. As you can see, they have 2 for Masters, 2 M4s, and 1 MP9 on the cards, along with 3 kits. That's good. Having 2 or more kits on the team, that's going to allow you some leeway on the retake if the bomb does go down. But so far, I mean, it was a very good aggression from War, and I think that Pez may have overthought themselves in that post-plant situation. They could have actually clutched that 2v3 out had Trans's positioning been just a shade bit better. And oh, the perfectly timed aggression. HSB just getting caught with a face full of nade, and he's blinded, he's burnt to a crisp, he's down to 13 HP. He's essentially out of the round, unless he can go Ultra Instinct and just mow down the enemies. In the meantime, Pokemonster also falls. Trans, the man who's been looking the most dangerous for Portal Esports on this T side, also bites the dust, and now it's a 3v5 with HSB on his dying breath. Criminal gonna go up aggressing in towards main, spots out Kazi, gets the spray down onto him, but there's Feint falling by the wayside, bomb out in the open, languishing. Criminal unable to retrieve it as well. It's a 2v4 and HSB is all but dead. He's a dead man walking essentially. Now we're going to see Criminal, who's going to go aggressing towards jungle, trying to get an aggressive peek, but getting blinded. It's very difficult, and there we go. Finish does get taken down. It's all down to Criminal, who's going to get caught with a nade in his hand, and Finish is able to apply the finishing touches to that round, and with that, War inch ever so slightly into the lead.
Well, that is true, and this is turning out to be such a back and forth match, and PES is going to go in for that timeout, and they desperately need it right now because they don't have a lot of cash to work with. And on the CD side, they have an MP9 alongside a FAMAS. This is turning out to be a very unexpected matchup. Again, I expected Portal Esports to, end this inside single digits against these guys. Even the Warriors are a very good team, not taking away anything from them, but Portal Esports have just been a better side. But the timeout, had you been in Portal Esports' position, what would you be telling your boys?
Look, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Until and unless the scoreboard reads 16 for a team, you still have a chance. And you give this round to War. Just give it. Take the hard eco. Go into the next round with a full proper buy. You will be light on the utility. Let me see. They just got reset if I'm not wrong. No, they'll be on the third round loss bonus. That's 2400. So you will have a little bit of utility going into the next round as well. Do that. Take the eco. Don't buy anything. Maybe try and get a few pickoffs because the money on War isn't that great either. It's just Oops, Finish, and Saz who have any semblance of an economy going. Even if you can keep the money on 2 players honest, the team will be forced to drop weapons for them, or they'll be forced to wield inferior weaponry. And it's just a question of one round, especially because the CT economy in this game is just so difficult, it's so punishing. You keep losing players even if you win rounds, you're never going to have bank and never going to have in case you do lose a round. So Pez, all they need to do is maybe just get a couple of pickoffs. 1 or 2. And if they can get the bomb down, that's even better. But I think it's a hard eco that should be on the cards right now. Maybe Feint can buy up a P250, but nothing more than a $300 investment is viable or even advisable at this point, at this economic stage in Pez's, arsenal, to say, if that's the right word.
Well, apparently one of the players on PES has timed out, so we'll just have to wait it out unless we start 4v5, which might just not be the case because he's reconnecting. But Trans going God mode, having 25 frags to work with, and the other guys on the team playing fairly decent as well. And on the CD side though, 2 guys with about 20 frags, Baba and Finish. So wait a minute, is it the GoTV that is on, or is it just me?
I think the server got taken down because even I've lagged out. Wait, let me check.
Alright, so we're just gonna try and fix this. In the meantime, we'll try and go in on a very short break. Once we have fixed it, we'll be coming back with live action. Alright, well, we've just figured out the server just went down, so it is going to be interesting to see how it actually works out. But in the meantime, while Fed checks Fed checks for what happened to this, we are going to go on a very short break and come back in a bit.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the ESL India Premiership Master League Summer Season. I'm your host, Angela, and this event is brought to you by Women by HP, HyperX, and Tel, and organized by Nodwin Gaming. So the So Strong servers went down, due to which we won't be able to show you the rest of the game of Counter-Strike, but as of now, the score is 12-13 in favor of War. The update of the score will be put up right after the DOTA 2 game on the online site, so do check it out after the game if you want to know what exactly happened between War and Portal Esports. But moving on next, we have DOTA 2 for you folks. It's going to be ATE Gaming going up against ROG Titans. So let's first see who these two teams are and what they're all about. ATE Gaming, let's see you first. Alright, so that is ATA Gaming, a recently formed team under the ATA banner, the ATA Esports, and they are going to be going up today against another team who are also from Mumbai, since ATA is from Mumbai. It's going to be ROG Titans, or veterans in DOTA 2. Let's see them next. Alright, so that is ROG Titans for you all. As of now in the summer season, they've already played 2 games, winning them both, while ATA Gaming has been having a mixed performance. They've taken 1 game but lost 1 game too. So these two teams are going to be head on to each other because it's a Mumbai-based team. I hope the servers keep on going and I hope they don't have any lags. To make this game more interesting, it's not going to be me doing the draft for you all today. We have an esteemed caster, Nishant CloudX Patel, who will be taking us through this draft with his co-caster, Floki. So let's quickly get into the draft because we're already running late with DOTA 2, and I will see you all right after the game.
Welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the 2018 edition as ROG Titans will take on ATE Gaming in Phase 1. I'm CloudX and with me is Floki. We're going to be bringing you this best of...
I'm just fine. ROG Titans versus ATE. Gonna be exciting to see both of these teams play. ROG Titans were looking really strong in this Premiership. I remember ZXC buying that rapier on the Luna, Mask of Madness, and just destroying, I think it was, who was it? Was it Gullies? Was it Nefarious? I'm not sure. But it was one of those teams and it wasn't really much to cast. But this game should be a bit more interesting.
You know, I see this game as a sort of checkpoint in the first month of the ESL India Premiership because up until now we've always had the impression that ROG Titans and Signify are going to be leading the pack. ATE Gaming, it's an organization that's got a bit of legacy value coming along with it. It's a team that was legendary in Counter-Strike 1.6. The brand is now carrying forward a Dota 2 team, and you'd expect them to pick up someone of worth, someone with a lot of potential. So all eyes on ATE Gaming here. Can they give ROG Titans a run for their money and possibly even take them down? I mean, it's a tall order, but I would love to see it happen. I'm always rooting for the underdog.
Of course, it's always fun to see the less known and less respected team trying to come out on top and show these bigger teams that you guys can't always be at the top. You know, there's always going to be people clawing, who are hungrier than you, trying to fight their way. Curious first two picks for ATE. What do you think of the Earthshaker and Witch Doctor right off the gate? I mean,
so I think Witch Doctor and Earthshaker are both very anti-illusion heroes, if that's one way to put it. I'm not sure if ROG Titans has shown an affinity towards picking up heroes like the Terrorblade or, you know, even the less popular Phantom Lancer. However, given the recent changes to the meta with the new patch that came out, I'm inclined to believe that, you know, you're rewarded for trying and dragging out games and taking it towards the later stages of the game, or at least pushing early and finishing early, or at least attempting to finish early isn't as easy as it was. Both the Witch Doctor and the Earthshaker are scalable supports with a lot of stalling potential, I'd say, which is probably one of the reasons why I can think of AT going for these two.
Okay. So do you think this is going to be a more farming game? Do you think we're going to be seeing more Shadow Fiends mid, more farming gears, like, you know, less Death Prophet, less Dragon Knight, more of those mid Juggernauts and
mid Juggernaut,
Zeus's, perhaps?
I'm not so confident about a mid Juggernaut. I mean, while Jug does have merits and demerits about going in the middle lane, I think the cons mostly outweigh the pros, especially with the changes to the tower range that happened a couple of patches ago, right?
Oh yeah, you can't dive as well anymore, I guess.
Yeah, but I like what ROG Titans are what they're doing anyway. They've got the Sand King coming out for themselves with the Shadow Shaman next, so kind of a mix of disable and pushing potential.
I also like how both of the supports on the side of ROG Titans can farm, right? Shadow Shaman can push out waves with Ether Shock if need be, and Sand King can go into the jungle, farm up a creep camp now and then, and just keep up with the enemy supports on the side of ATE.
What's ATE Gaming looking for as their third pick? I mean, they've chosen to ban out the Beastmaster, the Clockwork, and the Death Prophet, so they're still worried about a potential push coming their way. The Clockwork ban kind of indicates that they're looking for a, you know, a hero to stand back and pound away. Perhaps something like, well, I don't want to say Sniper because that's really a cheese strat that you pick up at the last moment, but yeah, I think they want something that's capable of dishing out damage from distance. I don't see too many reasons to ban out a Clockwork other than if you're looking to pick up something like a Sniper or heck, even maybe a Shadow Fiend.
I don't know about the Clockwork pick either. I think this might be sort of a deny for the Shadow Fiend. Like, it might be AT disincentivizing RG to go for that offlane Clockwork. I mean, still, it is an offlane Clockwork, and it perhaps may not have as much impact. But, you know, you can still get those souls early on, sort of destroy the mid lane. And it also de-incentivizes, if you ban the Clockwork, it sort of counters Gyrocopter. So it indicates to me that AT probably are leaning towards the Gyrocopter. Clockwork, one of those heroes that can actually fare up well against the Gyro in the bottom lane if he gets a few levels going for himself. Even has solo killing potential on the Gyro for the first 15 minutes, I'd say. After that, it gets a lot harder though.
Well, third pick on the board for ROG Titans here. We should see them revealing some more of their cores here with this next pickup. What's a good mid? I mean, I'm already scared looking at AT Gaming's lineup, right?
Yeah.
Doom, Earthshaker, fairly tanky heroes. Earthshaker more disruptive than tanky. Doom at the same time, basically the delete button for anyone that RG Titans, anyone unfortunate enough to walk into him on the side of RG Titans. But look at this, RG Titans going with the Leshrac. Again, counterintuitive stuff coming out because the patch rewards turtling and, you know, going into the late game, whereas Leshrac and Shadow Shaman both really the kind of heroes that want to finish the game early off.
But I think this might be a position for Leshrac or something like that. Sand King probably goes offlane on the hands of A35. I'm not too sold on the mid Leshrac right away, right? Because you can still pick heroes that do fairly well against it. This Leshrac is not as strong as he once was. He's not that cancerous lightning spamming disco pony in the mid lane, as people used to like to call it back then. But with that said, if this Leshrac does go mid, AT will have some sort of way to answer, because unless ROG ban now the Shadow Fiend or maybe the Zeus, you're gonna have ways of dealing with the Leshrac. He's not gonna be that big of a trouble for AT.
Honestly, I want to see a Pugna pickup from AT Gaming here. It's essentially perfect. The Netherworld is perfect versus both the Shadow Shaman and the Leshrac, and it's also a way to interrupt the Sand King's epicenter into the Blink. I think Pugna's a really good fit here for AT Gaming, and it's also going to plug one of their gaps, which is the lack of abilities to take down towers and structures on the side of AT Gaming.
Okay, I think the Pugna is nice here, but I also think that the threat of the Sand King getting an early blink and then just sort of crushing the Pugna wherever he goes. I mean, Leshrac, he can melt the Pugna if he just gets that setup stun going for himself. He'll land the Split Earth, he has a lot of damage with Edict and Pulse Nova. AT gonna pick up the Terrorblade into the Leshrac. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. I think, in theory, sure, magic damage trumps Terrorblade because, you know, armor and all that, but I think at the same time, Terrorblade is certainly going to go for a BKB in this particular matchup. He's got a frontliner in the form of Doom. He's got disengage potential with the Earthshaker and the Witch Doctor. I don't think it's a terrible pick here. And again, it also adds to their pushing potential, so why not?
Well, I do agree with that. AT don't really have a clear-cut way of taking towers, and Terrorblade might just come in handy over there. But with the recent changes to Tower Gold, I don't think this is going to be the sort of stick together, take early towers kind of a lineup. They don't want to go high ground really early on in the game. I think they might want to drag it out a little bit, just because of how de-incentivizing it is to go for those tier 2 and tier 3 towers nowadays. Give a lot less gold, and ROG are going to go with the Tiny.
And I'm not sure what's going on here, because one would expect that the Tiny doesn't get picked into the Terrorblade, right? Because Tiny has literally no armor to work with. Terrorblade's all physical DPS. I guess the control works, I guess the cleave helps too. Not to mention the magic damage, which could work versus the Terrorblade, but if this is an off-lane Tiny up against a Terrorblade, Earthshaker and a Witch Doctor, I just don't see what he's planning to do in the lane. Even if you throw a Sand King there, right, a Sand King and a Tiny dual laning up against that tri-lane, I'm still not convinced that they can hold their own.
Radiant team ban.
Well, that is true. Although I think this might be ROG just trying to experiment with them, experiment with the new patch, right? I mean, since it's de-incentivizing to go for towers and just stick together in 5-man in Dota, now you just rather farm all over the map as efficiently as possible, and Tiny is one of those heroes who can do it with the avalanche toss. He can clear out creep waves, he can grab a tree, hit some jungle creeps really quick, pick up some farm.
Dire team pick.
And my pick for ROG is going to be the OD. So it is a safe lane Tiny, a mid OD, and an off lane Leshrac?
Confused as hell myself. Are we going to see like a one position Leshrac here? Is that an off lane Tiny? It could be, it could be a dual lane with Leshrac and Sand King. Nah, Leshrac and Shadow Shaman going bottom, but then they're not going to have enough to deal with the Doom there.
Okay, ET. They're going to respond with their own cheese, and they're going to go with the Meepo.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this Meepo pick. I think it's going to take away a lot of much needed farm from the Terrorblade, and if it's an OD mid versus the Meepo, I don't think the Meepo is going to have a fantastic time there either.
Well, thing about Meepo is that once he hits that level 3 with the 2 Meepos and Poof, he can clear out the creep wave pretty easily. And
if it's a 1-on-1 and there's no one else coming to piss him off or, harass him in the jungle, sure. But RG Titans, they're an experienced bunch. They've got some of the best supports in the business. I think they're going to be applying way more pressure than on the Nevermore? Is that his name? Then
Yep,
he can
Nevermore.
anticipate.
Well, if they do apply pressure on Nevermore, this might be space for their Leshrac, who I think is being played by A35. Oh, never mind. It's not being A35. It is
Evil Ash?
yeah, it's Evil Ash gonna be playing that Leshrac. Okay, folks. So for the side of ROG Titans, I'm gonna quickly introduce all the players and the heroes they're playing. You're gonna be
my
having
game is
CS5.
totally bugged. I need to reconnect.
Yeah, okay. While he reconnects, I'll introduce the players. We're gonna be having Zeresbug playing the Shadow Shaman, Adrenaline Rush, that's Evil Ash on his Leshrac. It's gonna be a mid OD in the hands of Archmage. Towards the bottom lane, we're gonna be having ZXE playing the carry Tiny and Sand King being played by A35. Smoke right off the bat here for ROG Titans.
Okay, I wish I knew what the hell was going on, but my camera just refuses to work. I can't move around. I'm gonna try restarting Dota once, and that doesn't work. I'll just reset the electricity for my whole grid.
Alright. While he's going to be taking extreme measures to make sure his computer works, looks like ROG are going to be taking extreme measures to secure this top room. 4 heroes now smoked up and they're moving in closer towards Kalnaik. He's going to get spotted. Photo strike onto him, and this might be a dead Witch Doctor. The follow-up stuff from Adrenaline Rush, and ROG find the kill. Well, it's going to be helpful for Evil Ash on his position for Leshrac. Looks like it's going to be 2 runes for either side on the bottom lane. Doom, he is camping towards the bottom area. ZXE is going to go and trade some right clicks.
Okay, Dota restart seems to have fixed it. So it looks like I missed first blood, Witch Doctor.
Yep.
The casualty is there. Kalnaik, unfortunately, getting a taste of that ROG aggression. They're running an off-lane Leshrac with a Sand King to back him up, or is it the other way around? It's an off-lane Sand King with a Leshrac to back him up?
The courier's coming in, but he's gonna get stopped right outside the tier 3 tower for AT Gaming. Good map awareness there. They don't know where the Shadow Shaman is and knows that he can snipe the courier, so they're gonna keep it there for a while. Does have the healing salve of the Meepo, the mid lane.
Up top, meanwhile, we're gonna get a bit aggressive here. It's like Earthshaker coming in well.
No real kill here should be happening as long as they don't goof up too much. Bottom lane's where the interesting part is though, so it's a 1v1 between...
Courier mid!
It's... Zeresbug.
He tried.
Oh,
now that Courier's gonna have to juke the...
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna have to juke Shadow Shaman all the way around. Look at this, Zeresbug has made it his mission to get rid of that Courier, but...
okay, so Courier is gonna take an awkward route all the way over here, like this. And while that's happening... Bottom lane, Zeresbug is gonna TP in, so... Zeus should not be having a fun time anymore.
It's odd that Zeresbug started off with the Ethershock as opposed to the Shackles.
Yeah, I think he recognizes that there's no kill potential bottom with the 2 of them there, so you might as well get the Ethershock and harass Zeus out of the lane.
Yeah, I guess. Top. They did throw down that Earthshaker Fisher, but it looks like Earthshaker is going to be the one going down with that lightning and an auto attack.
Oh,
he should have got the kill. He actually tried for the split Earth stun instead. Gets the kill nonetheless.
Well, Evil Ash picking up another for himself. Has a good start on his Leshrac here, and that might be a bit troublesome for AT if they don't kill him anytime soon. He's level 2 now, has his boots.
I just want to say I'm really happy that Ramses has changed his name over to ZXE.
Copyright infringement?
Nah, it's more about having your own identity, man. It's a thing in Indian pro gaming where they just decide to pick up a popular player's name and make it their own.
Okay. Well, in terms of last hits, it does look like ROG are coming out on top. Meepo isn't doing too well, has moved over to the jungle where he's gonna be farming neutral creeps at the level 3, so that's where he's gonna be for now.
Yeah, a slow start so far for both sides, but you know, with Meepo in the jungle, this slow start is gonna start benefiting ATE Gaming. I'm a little surprised that more efforts haven't been made to shut down the Meepo, especially in the first 3 to 5 levels. He's just basically getting free reign of this jungle while Earthshaker is getting free EXP mid. This is working out really well for them.
Okay. Oh, top lane looks like Adrenaline Rush, Evil Ash. They find the split Earth, but Sand King can't really catch up for the Burrow Strike. But they will turn onto the Witch Doctor. He's gonna get stunned up with the help of Evil Ash, and he's gonna get brought down. Mystery player Terrorblade might be in some trouble, and even if Evil Ash dies for this, it's probably gonna be worth it. But Meepo, he's coming with the rotation, with the boost. He's trying to find the kill, but A35 with the stun is gonna secure the kill on the Terrorblade. And now Nevermore, he might be in some trouble as well, dropping pretty low. A35 has one charges, and with the right click from the Caustic Finale, he's gonna find the kill, but he might end up falling. He's just gonna try to TP out. He knows the cask is gonna be used. Evil Ash.
Okay. That was horrible. That was horrible for ATE Gaming. I was just commending them on how they made space for their Meepo. Meepo decides to go in and ends up getting brought down. They didn't even need to go hunting him. He basically hunted himself for them.
Okay. Looks like Nevermore was on suicide watch of late.
Back on the middle lane, OD sitting at 24 CS, leading the net worth charts as well. I mean, just toggle the net worth chart for a moment. That's 4 heroes from the Radiant on top of the charts.
Oh yeah, this is not looking good at all. And Zetisbug in characteristic fashion is at the bottom of the net worth despite his team leading the charge. Oh, Zetisbug.
Things.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Bottom lane though, Zetisbug. Just as we talk about him, he's gonna get rooted up. Does have the haste though, so he's gonna be able to scurry away.
Top lane, I mean, they've even got that observer ward placed down to watch ROG Titan's movements. But unfortunately, ATE Gaming just haven't been able to make anything off of it. No metamorphosis for 70 seconds. Oh, 835. I don't think that was a kill. That was just an attempt to get him to use the salve.
I guess so.
Look at this. Earthshaker's coming in from behind. The ward vision is setting up perfectly. They could consider going for this kill on the Leshrac. He's isolated now.
He does have a bottle and one charger, so it's not gonna be an easy kill.
Yeah, without the metamorphosis, it's next to impossible actually.
Yep. Metamorphosis more important than the Sunder in the early levels, I feel. Don't have it up, there's not gonna be much kill potential.
Doom seems to be doing okay though. He's disrupting the creep equilibrium, farming next to Zetisbug.
Yep.
I mean, of course, you've got the Leshrac doing significantly better than him in terms of net worth at least. In fact, he's even catching up in terms of EXP. Heck, the Sand King is level 4 in a dual off lane, as opposed to Zeus on this Doom, who's level 4 on a single off lane. I said he was doing well, but I'm gonna have to take that back. He's not doing too well.
Well, you can't say that the Doom is doing well. It's just that Evil Ash and A35 are doing better.
Yeah, that's fair. Smoke
okay.
On the Earthshaker though, he's up to level 2. I don't really think that has much significance, but walking around with
was
boots.
Smoke the carry player for Team ATE as far as I remember?
Yes, they're still experimenting. They're a new team.
Okay, well, play around, see what works. Top lane though, Mystery player, he's trying to get the stack but might be in some trouble. A35 with the stun, Adrenaline Rush with the follow-up as well, he's dropping pretty low, has another lightning where the wand charges, does have 6 but he's not going to pop them.
Man, did you see the magic damage just taking down his HP? That was one split earth, a level 2 split earth that took like 1/4 of his health right there.
I agree, I mean that's not the position you want to be in if you're Terrorblade in this early game. Your Meepo's already farming away, you're not going to have enough space to come back into this.
You know, I think the problem with the Meepo pick in the current meta is the gold and EXP swings that happen on account of an inflated hero like the Meepo is just ridiculous. I mean,
top
okay,
lane
he's
though,
going for the kill there.
Leshrac, he might be in some trouble. Good, does find the poop and the net as well, and he's gonna end up finding the kill, but no! The two-man stun by Evil Ash, buying him some more time, and that's gonna be enough to dissuade the chase.
I mean, there was an opportunity to poof earlier there with the second.
Okay, at the same time, Witch Doctor is gonna get gone upon somewhere else. Looks like they're doing it up falling, and now they gotta also find the Witch Doctor. Nevermore. He's trying to poof and turn around, but he's dropping pretty low himself. Powder Strike up on A35 has it, and Evil Ash is gonna steal that with the lightning.
Didn't even need it.
Indeed.
But yeah, again, so every time this Meepo dies, he's giving up a lot more gold than any of his own teammates, and I believe there was also a change in the way comeback gold or rather death gold works. It's no longer dependent on your entire team's net worth, although it's dependent on the individual hero's net worth. So when you kill an individual hero, okay, bottom lane.
Okay, bottom lane looks like Doom. He's gonna end up falling once again. Aethershock is not gonna find the kill. One charges to secure his life.
Yeah, but yeah, as I was saying, because it's now based on the individual hero's net worth and EXP, Meepo, despite his team being so far behind, will almost always be on par with at least the enemy 3 position heroes, and killing him is just so valuable.
I agree. This Meepo is not going to be having a good time trying to fight and dying. And I think this Meepo should just prioritize on getting his Blink Dagger going for himself. Once he has a Blink, he can start joining his team with the team fights, and with something like Fissure and Witch Doctor cast, he certainly can secure kills around the map. Look at this, Archmage level 8. Terrorblade is gonna have to come towards the mid lane to try and do something in smoke. The Fissure will block off Archmage, but he's turning it around with the Astral and I mean, Sanity's Eclipse and Arcane, but he can't find the kill on Nevermore. Mystery Player picks that up.
Well, finally they're gonna get a kill, at least on Archmage, so
yep,
Terrorblade picks up some extra money in his pocket and Nevermore ends up surviving that.
Well, it did kill some extra gold, but he's still at the top of the net worth.
Yeah,
not
it's
much
also coming at the
for
cost
Archmage.
of their tier 1 on the top lane. I mean, it looks like this tower is going to be uncontested. A35 is going to pick up a quick Blink Dagger because of that, and the Shaq is showing no signs of slowing down either.
Yeah, now picked up the arcane boost for himself as well. I think he's gonna be going for the Atos. Does have a Bracer queued up, but I might be wrong. Could go for the drums as well. What do you think you go for on this support Leshrac? Because I haven't really played this hero a lot, and I don't know how you would itemize them if you're playing him on a position 4.
Good question. I haven't seen a 4 position Leshrac in a while, to be honest. But at this point, I think they're just having fun. Can you really call a 3000 net worth hero 8 minutes in a 4 position? Look at him. He's significantly more farmed than the most farmed hero on the side of ATE Gaming.
RG, they have smoked up. Looking to invade the jungle of ATE, Terrorblade. He's level 6, but it's not put any points to the Thunder. Now the Power Strike, as well as the Splitters from EOLash, gonna be able to find the kill onto the Terrorblade, and they'll secure it with the Lightning. And the Caustic Finale, once again, this Terrorblade not having a fun time in this game at all. Mid lane.
11 to 1. Well, scratch that. It's gonna be 12 to 1.
Witch Doctor might just end up falling. He's trying to get the deny up, but he's not gonna be successful in doing so. Archmage picks up the Witch Doctor as well as a tower kill. Insult to injury being added there for ATE, not giving them the tower deny either.
I mean, it's also at that point where ATE Gaming is just struggling to find any farm on their Meepo, right?
Yep.
Meepo wants to go to the jungle and farm and then come out with an item and EXP advantage.
That is fine.
Unfortunately, he's just having no joy.
Yep. Zluk is in position, trying to find the dude here. Might just end up doing so. The Avalanche toss just to harass him a little bit and pop the Scorched Earth.
I think that was the goal. They put the Scorched Earth on cooldown and then try and make another play, but fortunately for the Doom, this time around, there's the smoke rotation coming out, but it's all been spotted. One cheeky observer ward there from ROG Titans has watched this 4-man rotation towards the bottom lane, allowing Tiny to stay alive.
Yeah, this Tiny is not going to be getting ganked anytime soon because of that ward by Zed's bug. Looks like they did ping it out, so they are aware that this ward is up. They ended up dewarding it. If nothing else, they do find 100 gold. As the game goes on, whose lineup do you think is gonna be better towards, say, the late game? Is it gonna be ATE or is it gonna be ROG Titans? I feel, despite the late game heroes on the side of ATE, ROG is still gonna be better just because they have the greedier and better farming drought. I mean, Leshrac is doing well.
Leshrac is about to die though.
Oh, Leshrac is about to die, as you say, and gonna get killed with the Fissure, but now. Oh god, Terrorblade. He's gonna end up falling it now. The Astral as well, they're gonna find the kill onto the Doom. I keep saying it Astral, I keep forgetting that it's Sanity's Eclipse, but...
Call it the hammer, man. I think
the hammer.
That's the safest way to go. But yeah, you were talking about which lineup would be better. If all things were even, I'd probably say ATE Gaming had a decent enough shot in the late game, but 11 minutes in, it's 14-2. With a scoreline, with a net worth lead of 9,000 in favor of ROG Titans. I'm not sure how ATE bounces back here. Like, it's gonna take a miracle where Smoke somehow gets a good 4-man Echo Slam with proofs on top
mid
of it.
lane looks like Nemo might end up dropping here, and Adrenaline Rush, EOLash, finding that kill all by himself. Zed is work, he's looking to get the Witch Doctor as well. Adrenaline Rush, he's gonna pop the Diabolical EX, stun to follow up. ZXE comes in, secures the kill. Charisbug is going to find it. They might just find more. A35 with the Burrow Strike from the edge. Smoke. Caustic is going to be popping soon, and ZXE tosses Zerisbug onto the corpse of the Earthshaker, finds the kill.
Well, ATE Gaming just getting pummeled here. At least the patch is in their favor though, right? I mean, we've been speculating that long drawn out games allow for comebacks in this current meta. However, at this point, I'm not sure if ATE Gaming are beyond the point of no return.
Yeah, they have the Doom, but they haven't popped it a single time since they found that level 6, and now looks like they might be able to do so too. Do smoke up here. Mage.
Okay, he missed the Fisher.
Okay, and he's just gonna go and give up his life. But the Doom, trying to find it, mid animation, can't find it, gets duped once again. Epicenter from A35, bringing smoke down low, and Zeus might just be able to die without getting that Doom off, and he will.
That was just painful to watch.
Oh
This
boy.
poor execution.
That thought, though.
I mean,
Nothing.
I want to call out. I'm gonna call a spade here. That Fisher should have connected. It should have blocked off the OD, and they should have got that kill on the OD at the very least. I mean, granted, there would have been a follow up with a blink epicenter and all that.
Thought A35. He's gonna jump in once again like a madman and find the Earthshaker. With the help of the Observer Ward. Landed here by ZXC. I mean, by ZSBug. What am I saying?
12k, 19 to 3, 13 minutes in. I mean, we are happy when games go at
That's how ZXC might find Terrorblade here. Avalanche just to fall off as well. Terrorblade is gonna end up falling.
We usually get happy when games go over a kill a minute. At this point, ROG Titans themselves have more than a kill a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's nearly double. You have 23 kills overall in this game so far, 30 minutes in. Oh, Shadowblade popped by Tiny. So no signs of slowing down, and now A35 with the Power Strike and the toss with the help of the Tiny, they find the kill on the Doom. Man,
I gotta
this
say,
game-
ROG Titans have proven to be quite impressive here. I felt like the lineup was, at least the draft seemed fairly even. It could have gone either way, however, they're just outplaying their opponents every step of the way.
Yeah. Well, credit to ROG, they have made changes to the roster, picked up ZXC for the carry role. Seems to be working out for them very well as he's shutting well with the team. Terrorblade, wait, where is he? There he is.
All eyes on Meepo though. I mean, he's got the blink dagger. Maybe if they can somehow pull off a blink dagger on Smoke Earthshaker, we might be able to see a bit of a comeback.
I think you need to wait for Smoke to hit level 6 here. He's still level 4 on the Earthshaker. That's just atrocious. The Witch Doctor is level 7. I mean, come on, man, Smoke. You need more levels than this, buddy.
Yeah, I bet he's feeling the pain himself. They really should be letting him take the Tombs of Experience this game.
Yeah. Well, they are gonna pop the Smoke for now, but looks like RG are not aware that this is happening. Smoke, of all people, is gonna be leading the charge. Might find the Tiny here, but where's the detection? Kalike only has one sentry wall, and that's it. That's all the detection they have, ATE, for this Tiny. Oh, but the ward gonna spot them out. Thinking of going in. They do gonna find the ZXC on the backline, and now Nevermore jumps in with the boost, finds the kill. Burrow Strike onto 3. The Doom, he's gonna get shackled up, but he's pretty damn tanky. Nevermore dropping pretty low, and now Sanity's Eclipse is gonna finish him off. Witch Doctor ends up dying as well. Triple kill for Archmage.
That was
He's gonna blink
nasty.
forward. Smoke, he's sitting in the trees. Archmage does not see him. Wait, did he get picked
Yeah,
out?
they're gonna get this kill. I think it's inevitable that he's gonna die.
Wait, is he gonna get spotted? Archmage, you just need to inch a little bit forward, buddy.
He's dead. He's dead. He's not gonna get away from it.
Oh, wait, what?
Okay,
Oh,
never mind.
that-
I was wrong.
Is he gonna get shackled? Yeah, they're gonna find the Earthshaker. He's not running away anytime soon. I mean, he will actually try to kill steal that, but Archmage, the master of kill stealing, is gonna find the kill with the Arcane up there.
Bottom, ZXC. He's got eyes on a Terrorblade with an Invis pop from his Shadowblade. He's tailing him,
This is gonna
looking for
pop
the pick
away
off.
soon. Is he gonna be able to find the kill?
Not
This
moving
Terrorblade
towards
might
his
just have to
face.
pop the Sunder. He's just gonna get Avalanche toss, but now Nevermore. With the net, he's gonna be able to find the Tiny. Fissure as well, stopping A3 Primes from getting the Burrow Strike off, but ZXC is dropping pretty low, and now the Dust as well. They might be able to find ZXC. The ward has been popped, and he does end up. A35 might be in some trouble. Maledict upon him. On the backline, Archmage finds the kill on the Meepo, and now with the Burrow Strike onto A35. Is he gonna drop? No, not yet. Now the Leshrac and the Archmage on the backline trying to find Kalike, but the Coconut bouncing around them and keeping them at bay.
Oh, he got him. Terrorblade
Oh.
got as well on the side. They should get this kill on him too.
Oh, no, he's gonna
Archmage
be
is coming
hexed
in
up.
with stolen intelligence.
Mystery
This is the
player.
mystery player going down.
Yeah,
Easy
he's
peasy,
not gonna
lemon
get it on the
squeezy.
rock.
Triple kill for Archmage. He's beyond godlike. And the best that the Earthshaker can do at this point is creep skip. Oh man, he's gonna die as well.
Oh boy, he doesn't have a TP. Archmage, no mercy. No rest for the wicked either. Ultra kill for Archmage too.
There it
Right.
is.
Okay, GG, well played. 17 minutes in with a 17k net worth lead. ROG do find the game against ATE Gaming.
Unfortunately, AT Gaming just outmatched. There's really no analysis that can be thrown out here. I think your starting point if you're AT Gaming is to go back, watch the game. Don't watch this game beyond the 10-minute mark because nothing really mattered after that. Up until the 10-minute mark, maybe there were a couple of things they could have done differently. Consider not bringing the Meepo into that one rotation to the top lane. Consider just riding out the early game storm and fighting towards the mid game. Prioritize Earthshaker's levels and EXP. I mean, among other things, I'd say, you know, those are good areas to start working on for AT Gaming. But RG Titans, just a class apart, and once again, they're showing why we do consider them to be one of the top 2 teams in this league.
I agree. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in to ESL India Premiership. CloudX, you want to mention your social media over here?
Sure, you can find me at facebook.com/TheRealCloudX. I'm also on Twitter with the handle @TheRealCloudX. How about you, Floki?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at DOTA, and that's all social media there is for me. Thank you for tuning in. Do tune in
Guys,
tomorrow.
he has like 5 likes. Can someone please go like his page? The guy needs some love.
Well, I mean, that can't really replace all the love that my dad did not give me, but that's okay.
Okay, that's it. I think we call it a night here before this stream goes NSFW. See you guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Floki, for having me. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, and RG Titans securing their 3rd victory for themselves in the Masters League of the ESL India Premiership. If you guys have missed out any of the games that have already been played, you can head out to our YouTube channel and see all the games right there, whether it's Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, or Dota 2. I would like to thank our esteemed sponsors, HyperX, Intel, and of course, Omen by HP, and all of us at Norman Gaming for you guys for tuning in today. And we will see you tomorrow live again at 6:30 p.m. IST with all the latest games from the esports arena of Clash Royale, Counter-Strike, and Dota 2. I'm your host, Angela, signing off for now. See you, good night, and always keep gaming.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.